Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lone Sailor 2. I'm Wilds. Joined with me today is none only than TNT. TNT, how are we doing today?
Doing. Oh wait, okay, wait. Accidentally had the other stream open. Hello everyone. I'm TNT and welcome to Lone Sailor 2. Looking to be a really fun night of Splatoon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what we're going to be, or what we will see tonight. The good thing about Splatoon is that you can never really predict what's going to happen, even with so many other players. TNT, do you know who we're going up against first round?
First round. We're still figuring things out. Going back to what Wild said about how Splatoon can be unpredictable, especially since Lone Sailor is a single sign up where teams are seeded with each other randomly. Well, not randomly, but seeded. So most players are playing with people they don't know. Some are, but it's highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. We might be able to get to see some new and exciting synergy players with each other today.
Of course. Oh,
Signing up solo is always a little bit of a tricky task because these are people that you might or might not know. So it's going to be really hard to get that kind of synergy bonus going with each other. You know how spending a lot of time with your teammates and people that you hang around frequently or play with, you'll really start to understand each other a lot quicker and a lot better the more you play with each other. But going into a tournament where you don't know each other that often or that much and going into it just blind almost, it's interesting to see how these players, react to that kind of change, that kind of spark that changes so much of Splatoon because synergy is a huge thing in Splatoon.
of course, yes. Especially not just in the game and what weapons you play, but just in comms between matches. Everything plays into each other, and you can't just be a good player. You have to be a good sport as well.
Always, always, it's always good to make sure that we're playing the funny Squid Game. We're here to be respectful. We're here to have fun. Most importantly.
Most importantly,
Anyways, Um, TNT, give us a little bit about what your expectations are
uh,
of Lone Sailor.
expectations wise, I'm not entirely sure. Let's bring up this week's teams. They are not in this server. That one had to drop.
Just seeing on the bracket now, we have Canberra, Catamaran, Brisbane Barrage, Darwin Dinghy, uh, Foster Ferry, and Emerald Express and Adelaide Arc all in the roster today. So we've got a total of 6 teams going on at the moment. It looks to be a pretty good tournament.
Bracket has started, and we're going to go and see the first match anytime now. So Adelaide versus Darwin.
Adelaide versus Darwin.
Let's check these teams. Rosters. Let's see. On the side of Darwin Dinghy, we have Penny, Addict, EK Warrior, Jess, and Mitzi PNG. Seems to be a few familiar faces on my end, but they're going against a pretty stacked team against James, Jazz, Koa, and Scruffe. Seems to be. Oh, this could go either way. The scales aren't tipping either way. So this is going to be an interesting setup. My experience so far is we got Addict, Brushes being a bit of a rat, but a rat's pretty important on a team. And we got Koa, Koa I play with personally, on skirmishing and midline, pretty strong on those. Any thoughts, Wilds?
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see what happens in game. Obviously, you can't really judge a player based on the weapons they play. More so, you really have to judge them based on what goes down in the game. Just because a player plays ink brush, we might not always see that ink brush going in behind or going in for flanks being annoying. Instead, we could just see a brush that's running forward half the time, and it's always fun to see what these players might be able to do during gameplay.
Yes, very important that the play style makes the weapon and not the weapon makes the play style. But they do mix and match with each other. You're not going to see a Hydra go for a rat play, but not maybe a brave Hydra.
Well, you can never really predict it. Solo queue is definitely
Oh,
uh a work of wonder when it comes to weapons.
seen my fair share of solo queue frontline charges. It's a very interesting Wild West out there. Uh,
Quite literally.
uh,
And I think we should be getting people into the room soon.
hopefully.
So TNT, how are we holding up today?
Uh, just in general, just me, myself, and I.
Yep, just me, just you, yourself, and you. That
Uh,
doesn't.
Pretty all right actually. Got myself a new shelf just above my desk where I can put all my little trinkets and little guys. Didn't realize how much stuff I had until after I put everything on the shelf. But that's just how it goes. I like to collect things.
I personally like to collect rocks. I think they're cool.
Rocks are pretty neat. What's your favorite kind?
Um, I'm actually
Igneous.
quite particular with amethyst.
Oh, that's a nice, pretty purple rock. Can't go wrong with a
Amethyst
nice.
is one of my favorite gemstones, and it's quite lovely. If I remember correctly, it's got good health associated with it.
That could be correct. I'm not one for knowing what gems are supposed to do. The only gems that I know are the ones that are the crystal gems.
Well, they have the kind of links to spirituality, kind of.
Yeah,
A
it's just
little bit.
interesting the things we associate with little trinkets.
I'm also particular to quartz as well. It's very good for purifying.
Some nice, good colors you can get with quartz. Nice
hmm
variety.
Well, amethyst is also a type of quartz as well.
I had that at the back of my throat, ready to say. I just wasn't sure. It's been a while. I need to brush up on my gem fun facts.
It has
Uh,
also been a while for me as well.
well, you collect them, so I would assume you would know more.
Well, it's just been a while since I'm a uni student. I just finished up my assessment today actually and handed that in not too long ago.
Nice, getting the good work in.
Yeah, hopefully it all goes well. And then I've got the big plan stuff happening afterwards.
I
So
myself
I'll be
can't pass
very
up.
busy from here on out.
I myself can't pass up a nice little pebble. Little lowly things, but have their own beauty. You know, just like the
Especially for
players in
skipping stones.
especially for skipping stones. Just like the players in the Lone Sailor, that you might not know what's going to happen. You can find a neat little pebble. Game starting soon. About to start. Counter. Okay, sick. Game is
hmm
going to start soon. So soon you'll get to see some Lone Sailor gameplay. 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Lone Sailor 2. We've done the first one. Now we're moving on to the second one.
Well,
And I'm excited to see what we'll be seeing this time around.
where's Lone Sailor 2 too? Like, if the second one was so good.
How about Lone Sailor 3?
Oh, that's interesting. I like that proposition.
Yes, hopefully we should be getting gameplay anytime soon now.
Anytime.
Should be close.
The second one. And we're getting into game. Hopefully. Yes, hopefully. Well, you never know. OCE can be a sort of scuffy thing.
Hopefully no
Is your,
unexpected DCs as we head into Scorch Gorge.
PD, is your sound
Addict
on?
once again pulling out that brush. Such a classic from Addict here.
PD, I don't think you have your sound on for in-game. Of course. Let's have a look here. Attic, of course, on brush, just as I predicted. Koa on the skirmishing dualies, squelches. Meat Boy 16. I don't know. Ugh. These names, Jesus. How many Meat
We
Boys
see
are there
one go
now?
down. We go one down on the side of Addict's team as they start taking it left. Jazz trying to push left on the bridge here, an unexpected push, but now there's two. But now there's two down, and there's at a
The quick re-
disadvantage as we see purple team push in, and the Stamper comes in to deny them instantly, stopping them, saying, "Nah, no more." As we have the Slosher backing up, it's just purple team backing off and staying back in the mid, trying to play defensively and safe. As we see yellow team pushing in with the Rainmaker now, it's now or never with getting space, and we see Addict trading with Jazz. The cooler is down, and now it's two down on the side of yellow. It's not looking good for them.
No, it is not. Though yellow is all backed up onto that ramp with one going down. Not a good sign, especially if you have one with Rainmaker. It's essentially a 2v4 right now with shot just respawning. Brush goes down on Greats. Nice good pick on the side of one goes down on blue. Rainmaker just trying to find a spot to go in. Bucket comes in, gets Rainmaker, dies, and we have a jump. Still trying to take mid. Unfortunately, they can't seem to push any further than that point on ramp.
No, yellow team is currently in a scuffle right now. Just blue team
Shut.
is holding on desperately just for any blue team is holding on just for any space that they can get, and yellow team is fighting tooth and nail to try and get back the space they're able to hold. You see, we've got the V charger there just putting out an incredible amount of pressure. That threat of a one shot is so huge for a bunch of players who run in a lot of the time in order to go distract and go get kills, go pressure. We see Addicts starting to rush in here, and Addicts all alone,
Getting
getting two
two,
with the hammer. It's now three. It's now three down on the side of blue, and it's just Jazz left,
but they had
and
that
they
quick
finally
respawn
pop
with the
checkpoint.
cooler. They had that quick respawn on cooler on blue side, so it wasn't too much of a down, but it did give them just enough time to get check there, trying to reclaim that lost space on their ramp, pushing them back into mid. We see now just trying to get a good pick. A good pick goes down by Attic, down on the brush. Rainmaker reset. Cooler comes out, striking out the plat, trying to stop the charge from getting anything new, anything good. Brush comes back, getting a nice pick, getting a no, doesn't find anything. We've got the Vac coming out, trying to secure check, but doesn't come out quite as well as they hoped. But they do get check here, with one down on yellow, getting another pop, getting a pop kill. Interesting. Blue takes lead, but Rainmaker goes down, pushing too far ahead, just Hail Mary and getting as much points as they could. Three down on the side of blue. That's a good shutdown of a push. One jumps out. That was an interesting play that we saw by both teams.
Yeah, we see Addicts covering ground as fast as they can. You know, it's so important to get as much space as you can before the enemy comes back to try and contest it. and we see two on the right ramp side, just trying to hold on a space in the mid. We see Addict pop Ultra Stamp a little early, but he manages to get
Ooh,
two of them
does find
instantly,
two.
cutting them off and having the and letting the Rainmaker start to push in. We see
That
just
could be lead
we see
right there
just
for
pushing in.
Yellow.
It's now or
Yellow
never. They're
takes the
rushing all their
lead.
specials, and the Zuka goes down.
That Zuka recoil, unfortunately, does mess up a few people with the self destruct right there. But they do try to hold mid on side of Yellow. One pushes up and gets killed trying to for the edit. Too far pushed up, but we have two down on the side of Yellow. That edit going down is very bad because they need that cooler to take space and to take fights. Uh, we have Hammer comes out, gets one. I don't know if it's going to get too much value yet. Ooh, but three go down on the side of Yellow. Luckily, they had that cooler up, so it's not too much of a disadvantage. But they charge a cooler. Pencil does get one pick there at the end of that major fight. Now they're just trying to get into overtime with the side of Blue. Unfortunate, the Rainmaker does reset, and that is game.
Yeah, an unfortunate end to game one, but still incredibly played by both teams. Both teams doing incredibly well, just holding the space so well. Like a fine thread, these two teams were always dancing on who gets control over which area. Just all the players like pushing in together, getting picks, getting kills, even Addict getting multiple double kills with Ultra Stamp, something we don't often see often because of Ultra Stamp's unique hitboxes.
Yep. Pretty good start to Lone Sailor 2. An interesting, very close game. Getting that lead at the last minute was a very good play by that team. I don't even remember the colors now. It's
Yellow and blue, the
yellow,
Splatoon 3 promo colors.
2 and 3 colors. It's much more difficult to remember teams because it is basically just pick up. Uh, you don't really associate a team with anyone because it's just a team.
Anyways, we'll be moving on to the next round. The next round should be
Oh, that's counter picks. Interesting. We get to see a counter pick coming out. Let's have a look at the counter pick maps. Okay, I'm not familiar with how counter picks work on Sendu. We've got on zones, we've got Hagglefish, Barnacle and Diamond, Robo Ramen. On tower, what the? Hagglefish, Undertow, Ink Block, and another Robo. Seeing a couple double ups on this counter pick pool, but I'm guessing that's just a quirk of Sendu that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see what counter picks we might be seeing. For all we know, someone could someone could go pick up Bluefin Zones.
I assume that gonna see a couple of clams games in this because we do have Addict on one of the teams. And Addict shines in clams on that ink brush.
And I think we'll be going to Splat Zones on Robo Ramen. Robo Ramen, what's your thoughts on that?
Robo Woman Splat Zones. It is possibly the best map in the game. One of my favorites. Pretty good at it. Get to play it all the time during scrims. It is such a good map. Though it does suffer from a few Splatoon 3 quirks, just like how there's not really many ways to get into mid or to push up. You do have that one choke point on the ramp that leads off of zone into the enemy spawn, which you do have to conquer in order to lock them out, which is very difficult.
Yeah, Robo has possibly one of the best designs of any Splatoon 3 map at the moment, where you're able to actually get behind them, but the value from getting behind them is a little bit shaky most of the time, since you can just lock them out and it is quite easy to see where they're going. But if you're able to really distract them on that right side and be able to pull them away from focusing you on your spawn, then you might be able to get a chance of breaking back in. This map is a very push and hold kind of dynamic of you want to push in mid and then you want to hold in that elbow, and then when you're unable to hold in the elbow, you're able to go push back.
We are getting into the game. Let's see if there's any major changes to each comp's. Addict staying on brush, it seems. E-leader
And
is
an E-liter
back.
comes out on the side of blue team.
I think it's the only major change. Was this Splatana? Yes, Splatana was dead in last match, so the only major change is E-leader. There is a lot of open space that isn't blocked by lots. E-leader could get a couple of good hits from that.
You see the E-liter instantly getting one on that stamper, just that incredible range, just absolutely stopping anyone from ever poking their heads out. We see just fighting for their life there, but unfortunately going down. That E-liter putting out tons of pressure as we see the dually squelches try and get some poking damage, try and get some attention drawn on them, trying to get at least a little bit of damage off before they go down, and they manage to escape and jump down on the ledge there. And we see Attic trying to get another pick with the hammer, but not being able to, and 2 go down on this side of yellow, 3 go down. It's just the bucket left. Yellow team is pushing back in and claiming zone, and wow, that was an incredible zipcaster there.
Very, very strong push into that elbow on the side of yellow. It seems they might get a good lockout here, but it seems they did have to give up some space, having to fall back of that respawn. They're trying to come in, dies immediately, unfortunately. Kua is out on both sides. Azuka comes out, doesn't seem to find much value, and goes down before the third shot. We see here, dualies go down from the pencil. Good pick. Addict's trying to survive, cannot just get it by the E-leader. Good pick. We see the E-leader pulling its own weight so far.
Yeah, you really can't approach an E-leader, especially on this map, because of how just tight everything is. So tightly compact, how close everything is together, and yet so far away from each other that it's kind of really difficult to really get that pick on E-leader and just have it just sit there non-stop, just hitting from such a long range. We see Addict trying to get the attention of the edit. They're just all alone at the bottom there, trying to get the attention. The hammer comes out. Will they be able to get another pick? But the edit is right there and shreds right through the hammer. It's now or never with just the pencil left on the field. I don't think it's looking too good for yellow team.
No, it does not seem to be going good. They have to go for a quick trap right now. Unfortunately, I don't think they can. No, they cannot, and that's unfortunately game. Yellow team just could not keep up with blue team, it seems, especially with that E-leader putting the pressure on those shorter range weapons.
Yeah, that E-leader being absolutely nasty on that high ledge there, just on that little wall, just being able to snipe into the elbow where everyone wants to be is such a huge threat and such a huge warning sign of what's to come if you stay there for so long. So it's really hard for a team to really push in when there's such a long-ranged weapon enough to counter them in one go. It was so hard for yellow team to really break in, especially with the lack of really displacing specials, with the lack of um yeah, being able to push in. So we should be moving on to round 3, hopefully. Just waiting on the counter pick um from the losers team. I'm quite interested to see what we might see here. Um for all we know, it could be Well, I doubt we're going to see Clan Blitz anytime soon. Giving the opponents, or actually, no, we might see Clan Blitz actually, since
If
Addict's team did lose
I would
beforehand.
be
So I'm expecting to see a little bit of Clan Blitz as a counter pick, but it just depends on what Clan Blitz map. We could see Umami Clan Blitz. That's a pretty decent stage all around.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we don't see at least one Clan Blitz map this set because it is a very it's a litmus test of sorts for a team because if you're not good with Clan Blitz, you don't have what it takes. You need to be good at Clan Blitz. It's just such a unconventional sort of game mode compared to other games and within Splatoon itself. Most games you just have the objective and you just sit on objective. Clan Blitz you just can't do that because the objective is all over the map. It's at the enemy base. You just have to be strong at Splatoon to be strong with this game mode.
Yes, well, Clan Blitz is a team-based map mode or a team-based mode. So really, it just depends on the synergy of everyone on a team. And like we were talking about at the beginning of the stream, sometimes it can be really hard, especially when there's multiple solo signups. Not knowing or not having that kind of synergy with your team can really affect you, especially on Clan Blitz. So it's a matter on whether or not these players are able to work work together and build that synergy mid game enough to work together to build clams, manage the clam economy, score clams, push in together. It's a long it's a long and tedious kind of gameplay. And just as I'm predicting, it's Clam Blitz on Umami Ruins. I think someone is looking I think someone is listening to the stream.
Ugh. Clams Umami. It is a map mode combination if I've ever seen one. Umami is a map with that strong mid central point with the raised high ground, the silos, a lot of positions you need to take, especially with Clan Blitz, because you do need to take those positions. Again, you can't just sit on the objective because there's no objective to sit on. You have to get clams, you have to get to basket, you can't really go for a team a wipe because by the time you have clams or a ball, all the enemy has respawned at their basket, ready to shut you down. You have to be ready to make a push. You can't just sit around and do nothing.
And Umami really does encourage a kind of 1v1 playstyle with the big box in the middle just as a separation so that you're not just fighting all the team members. Instead, you're fighting two people because people can flank on both ends if you're not careful enough. As we head into Clan Blitz on Umami Ruins, I'm expecting there not to be not much change going on here from the side of yellow.
Custom E leader, an interesting choice. Though Kraken Cheese has not been in the game for a while now, it is still a strong special to have in Clan Blitz because it can easily clear out underneath the basket. We see here a couple fights happening in mid. We've got 2 on the side of blue taking that top mid position. Cooler comes out on the side of yellow. That's very good to have at the start. We have Hammer coming out on Addict. Not able to find much with the Hammer. Has to throw it. Addict just being a nuisance. Going in, throwing balls, and dying immediately. But getting that first lead is a pretty good start to this game.
Yeah, it's such a reminiscent kind of play style of Inkbrush just rushing in and scoring clams nonstop. It reminds me a lot of Splatoon 2 days where Inkbrushes would just nonstop run towards the base since they had Bowler to keep themselves alive. And we kind of have something similar in Splatoon 3, just with a less survivable special in Ultra Stamp, as we see Jazz pop down the cooler and start to push in. But right now, alone, 2 going down on the side of on the side of blue. It's just the E-leader left as they jump out and they get another bowl in. Yellow team starting to push in, putting more clams in, and the Kraken trying to find someone, but the Kraken not being able to get much value and having to go back. And it's now the E-leader is in a very dangerous spot. 2 going down again, and we see Yellow trying to get a pick on the bucket in mid, and it's just the E leader again holding the ball as the rest of Blue start to pile in and try and get space back.
Yeah, it does not seem that able to get. The Zuka does come out and cannot seem to find one, and another basket pop goes out, but 2 down on the side of Yellow. They can't really get too much value out of that, but they do have a good substantial lead, so it isn't too much of a problem. It's mainly just to annoy and maybe put a bit of demorale on the other team, because having that sort of lead in a mode like Clan Blitz could be very detrimental. They have to get together, they have to just put in the time, put in the effort. Yellow trying to just push them away from their ramp. They do get a pop on the basket. They might get more value, but they don't have the clans that basket. Ooh, they're burning clans now. They do have leads. They get 3 from that, and another ball goes in and the jump in, but they do survive, so they still have 3 at the ramp. It seems they're pushing back now after the momentum of that push dies down. Hammer trying to come out, trying to find one, finds one, pull out. And we just see them going back into playing neutral. Addict just showing how you can just play as a rat in this game mode. Just going in, popping the basket. 2! Ooh, another 2. A couple good picks with the Zuka there. But it just shuts down the push there. Seems a little bit good at the side of Yellow.
Yeah, unfortunately, not being able to get any extra clams off that. We just see Addict just mostly whittling down the penalty, just whittling down the scoreboard inch by inch, and even if they don't manage to get more clams in, it's still whittling it down slowly but steadily. Just one more power clam is enough to really start to put the pressure on Blue Team here. As we just wait for any kind of pick, we see the hammer getting popped out, but the edit is right there, and the hammer goes right down. Without the ink brush, it's going to be really hard for them to really push unless they get really good picks out here with their special. We see Zipcaster locked and loaded, Kraken locked and loaded, same with Bucket. We've got so many specials ready. We've got Zuka ready. Specials are starting to come out on Yellow's side as they start to push in, claiming space, trying to be annoying. The Zipcaster just trying to get a single pick on someone, not being able to get anyone. But we see the Zuka come out too. Not enough to get anyone. 2 going down on the side of Yellow. It's not looking good.
No, it is not looking good. They need to get that clan and they need to get clams. They need to get 4 clams, everything. They need a claim space, but they just will not be able to. They do not have any pushing power right now. No specials, just hammer. We see no specials on the side of Blue as they pop the Zuka. Zuka does not find anything too useful. Seems to be a bit of a stalemate right now as Yellow tries to come in for a desperate play. Popping 2 specials, but the try strike there does kind of slow him down a bit, but it seemed to have popped too early. 2 down on the side of Blue, but unfortunately the wipeout there shuts down any hope of getting a last push in. But overtime, never mind. That is
No,
game.
just super quick, super simple, super just cut and done. But there was still a lot of back and forth between that. If Meat Boy had managed to get another clam in, we could have potentially seen a reversal there at the last second to get gameplay in. But unfortunately, that is it for the first round.
I think you mean Addict there. The only Meat Boy I see was on the winning team, Meat Boy 16.
No, there
Addict
was me. There was Meat Boy who was in the last. Who was trying to get the last push in.
is Meat Boy? You mean Addict, right?
No, it was Meat Boy.
No. What?
Yeah, it was Meat Boy.
No, but they won. They won that game.
There was another Meat Boy, Meat Boy 15 on the
Oh,
yellow team,
there's 2 Meat Boys. Oh my god.
and they're
He
multiplying.
There's so many Meat Boys. I think by the end of this stream, I'm also going to be a Meat Boy. It just seems the army's growing. Uh, can't do much about it, I guess. You know, they come for you. They take over. It's a bit of a nurse Joy situation where there's just so many of them. And are they the same person? Are they related? Who knows? Maybe they're clones. Maybe it's like a zombie virus. Who
The Meat
knows?
Boy virus.
The meat boy virus. I
But
think it'll
yes,
pop.
that is it for this round. As we wait for round two to pop up, don't go anywhere. We're waiting just for round two.
What'd you say? It's nonsense. How about I just give you my whole life?
Backseat, you already know. If niggas out to get me like they shopping number 4. I'm trying to make plenty. I'm trying to get go. I'm trying to go platinum. No features like I'm cold. Woke up feeling mischievous. I'm like fuck today. Like you got a subpoena. Who getting judged today? Shot on me your penis. Who wanna fuck today? She talking all that bullshit. I'm like,
What'd you say?
try to be peaceful, but sometimes I get evil. If she don't wanna fuck, I respect that. And I look like tryna deep stroke on a bitch who doesn't wanna deep throat. I don't fight for no pussy. That bitch wanna see me bleed though. Bitch, I'm not a blood. I pull up a sissy clubs. Welcome to the party, but you just got kicked up out the club. Bitch, I wish you would. Bitch, I swear I wish you would. Try to fuck me up. I'ma pull up on him, get her done. Nigga got caught in a hit and run. How you run from the odds when you holding one? I keep so tight, if he isn't done. And this shot don't stop. It just runs like a bitch off drugs. I'm so high, get right off a honey bun. If these signs all tell me to cop the gun, I might pull up and melt you. Chocolate fudge. Nigga. Get it? Cause it's like melted chocolate, right? Or is it? Yeah. I don't really know. You know, I don't remember what chocolate fudge actually is. Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Lone Sailor 2. I'm Wilds. Joined with me today is TNT again. We are up to round 2 of Lone Sailor 2. TNT,
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
reckon we're going to be seeing today?
We're going to be seeing some, some inkage, some splattage, some tunage, if you know what I mean. It seems it's going to be a good one. I have a high hopes. I have a good feeling. Going to be some nice close, some nice interesting games that's going to happen. You know, maybe we might see a couple of really cool clips, but that depends on what's gonna happen. Who's playing, what map, the weapons. It all just boils down to just who can play the game better.
And who can get those oh so crucial moments
Oh, I
at
can't
the
wait.
right time? Getting the right picks at the right time with the right specials and the right coordination. It's a lot more than just mechanical difference.
Of course, you can't pass up on a good opportunity. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and that's something that a lot of people need to take in throughout their lives.
Always got to give it a red hot go. As we see, with today's matches, we are Canberra and Brisbane. Canberra having a pretty stacked team, but also Brisbane Barge also having a pretty stacked team. I'm from Queensland myself, so I'm a little bit biased towards Brisbane, but Canberra is also pretty cool, so I'm also rooting for Canberra too.
I have no stakes in who wins this. I don't hail from any of those places. I do see a few familiar faces, a few very strong players. Very nice to see these players in the game playing. Can't wait to see how they duel it out on the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what we might see as well. Our first match is on Rainmaker Undertow Spillway. TNT, what's your thoughts on this map?
My thoughts on this map is that it's a pretty alright map. It can be a bit awkward at times, but if you know how to play the game, those little awkwardsies, you're gonna play to those awkward places. You're gonna bring them in. You're gonna make them your own, and you're going to use them to your advantage. Especially if you can take up those glasses, the snipe. There's a lot of room for you to breathe if you do a good push. You could go left, you can go right. Though most of the time we do only see people going through that left route, as it's the safer route. With the reworks that happened recently.
Yeah, that rework really opening up the left push, just making it so much more quicker, so much faster to just run through it and get the really easy points compared to before the rework where you had to just run up or go on the wall, just leaving yourself very vulnerable and very exposed. But now you can just swim through that little trench area, and it's really opened up the map, really made Undertow feel just a little bit better in terms of Rainmaker.
Though that little trench there is still a huge choke point, especially with such little room you have on the attacking side. It's just there's so little space, and that's why it's important to just get a good pick, have a nice special that clears that space. And yeah, basically the right. There's only one route on this map. It would be insane if we see someone trying to go for right. Maybe for a good early check, but again, it's just safer to go through that left way.
Or if one team decides to be really tricky and proceeds to break one team's ankle by making them think they'll go left, but instead pushing right side as well. It's a lot of mental gymnastics when it comes to Rainmaker. Am I gonna go left? Am I gonna go right? Oop, you'll never know.
Though once one team does decide which way to go, they do have to commit to it pretty hard, as they do have to jump over that spine that ledge there, which puts the Rainmaker in a very, very difficult situation because it's just running along the snipe and the plat. Very easy to get taken down.
Yeah. But you never really know what's going to happen in these games. We do have J Splat on Brisbane's team as well. So I'm expecting a lot of just strong picks here. Just a lot of strong moments of just catching the enemy off guard.
I wonder, do you think we're going to see the J shot today? The famed J shot from J Splat. That's what I'm
I
hoping
would
for.
certainly hope for. That's a legacy. That's a legacy that none else will ever live up to. The J Zuka is just one of the quintessentials of the OCE Splatoon scene.
We also
You
have
can never go wrong with it.
Hime on the side of Canberra. Probably going to see some strong sharking roller plays. That will be fun to see. Just going in for the stealthy plays.
Yeah, two Frostbite players on each team.
Very good teams that we have here. Very strong. Honestly, this could go either way. It all comes down to, again, what you said, just getting those good picks at the right time and playing to those picks. You can't, if they just can't take advantage of any advantage they get. If 3 go down but they just don't have any space, it doesn't really matter. It's just they have to play it. They have to, they just have to stay strong.
It's always good to keep your mental focus, train your mental focus as well as your uh game focus as well as the same time. Your mental is very much a very important part of the
what do you like
Splatoon
to
gameplay.
what do you like to do to get your mental up? I myself like to go for a walk early in the day, just to get the breath of fresh air.
For me personally, you can never go wrong with anything of just I gotta lock in. That's all there is to it. I gotta lock in, and that works. Surprisingly.
Nah, you see, that's just gonna get me to stress and get all nervous. If I don't get outside the house, if I just sit at my desk and just practice, it's just going to trip me up later. It's just that long con for the trip up. I have to get out. I have to stretch my legs. I have to breathe in the nice air, see those sights, get the blood pumping a bit.
I'm a little bit different. I've been performing all my life pretty much, so I'm very much used to the feeling of stage anxiety.
Another thing I like to do to get my mental up is I like to sit at my desk with my shoes on. I go for my walk and I keep the shoes on and I just play.
But won't the shoes be dirty though?
Shoes are not that dirty. They're not too bad. But what isn't dirty is my mind when going in, because my mental is clear and clean. The shoes symbolize that I'm ready to go. I've got I can get up, go. I don't have to waste my time. That's what the shoes represent.
Bad news. We do have another DC happening
Ooh.
at the moment in the room.
Womp womp indeed. Isn't that unfortunate? That's just how OCE is, unfortunately.
Oceana moment. It's unfortunate.
Oceana moment.
Telstra just in 1-0 Lone Sailor 2. Absolutely shocking.
Maybe it's a tactical strike and they're just trying to shut us down from playing our Squid Game. I wouldn't put
How could they?
Yeah, how could they, this hypothetical scenario?
This is 1984. How could they?
It's a good...
So TNT, what else do you like to do to get your mental strength up, your mental health up?
I just go into opens and I just shit around for a bit. You know, I just play weapons that I don't play in comp. You know, I've been playing a bit of the decav lately. It's a very fun weapon. You know, just to play around, just to mess around. Maybe I play a different game. You know, I'll bring up my nice bring up a nice game of Red Dead Redemption. Maybe I'm playing some Smash Bros. You know, just you know, just to keep stuff off of my mind, and then going in, you know, I have that clear head, ready to go. No heads left, all the anxieties left, and it's just game time.
Yeah, that's fair. I've been getting back into my my V Wellstring grind, 5-star grind again, and I'm inching ever so close to a 5-star again.
Yes.
There will come a day eventually when the 5-star Wellstring is mine, and I'm able to gloat around with pride over the fact that I've 5-starred 4 weapons. And then it'll be back onto the grind for 5 stars on Incline Tri-Stringer.
Oh, the Incline Tri-Stringer. Such a fun weapon. Just throwing out those chumps, throwing out those sprinklers. Very high, very skill dependent weapon, because you do have to hit those shots. But those chumps are just very chef's kiss. Just you know, being a nuisance to the enemy team.
Dropping little gadgets everywhere, putting down paint everywhere, putting out good chip damage for your team as well from a distance.
Yes.
Can't ever go wrong with a good Tri-Stringer.
A lot of chip damage on that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
especially if you miss only one bullet, you're still doing 90 damage, which is still a lot of damage.
Do you run Thermalink?
No, you don't run Thermal Ink on.
Well, I run Thermalink. Just a nice safety net, you know, just to see where everyone's at. But it is dependent on if you can hit your shots, because that chip damage does not count.
No, not the explosion, but the arrows themselves will only count.
Yes.
And even then, you can always check your map after you hit them as well to get the location effect as well.
Yeah, but that's I like seeing everything all on the one sort of screen. I don't want to open up the map.
That's fair enough.
takes you out of the game for a bit. You know, you're not. If you have Thermalink, not only are you getting the information of your Thermalink victims, but you're also seeing the rest of the game where other people might be out. But if you open that map, you're really not seeing that much other than enemy location. You know, which is important, but there's so much more. Like, you need to watch their actual position, your teammates' position, your position. And while the map is very good at doing that, it's just a lot different and probably easier if you're not using the map. At least from my experience.
Well, hopefully now all will be well. We've got the timer going down for the first match, so hopefully we'll be able to see Brisbane versus Canberra coming up soon, hopefully, and not have Telstra come in for a vicious 2-0.
Oh, they might come in with the E-liter snipe. It would be very unfortunate if they do. But you know, getting that 3-0 on the snipage, it's a pretty good clip, and I hope they post that to Twitter later. If they do. Oh, and we're getting into it. We're so excited to see this, as again, these players we know all well and good. There we are, J-Splat on the J-shot. Very, very happy to see that.
And we see the custom Explosher. Not a very common pick that we see. It's been seeing a little bit of usage as of late, but not a lot. And we have a DC in 10 seconds in the match.
Now it's just a bit of a squid party until one of them decides to stop. And there we go. Nothing's going on. They're just flopping around. Kill code executed by J-Splat. And we're just gonna wait, I guess.
Seems
Uh,
Telstra did manage to go for that sneaky 2-0 at the moment.
Can't wait to see that clip later. I'll retweet it and quote tweet it as well. But let's hope that they always say third time's the charm, but like let's time.
I've always found that 4 times is always a lucky number, not the third.
It's a nice
There's
round
always,
number.
there's always something about the third that always makes it not necessarily work, at least in my experience. It's always been the fourth time I've done something is when stuff or when luck finally goes my way.
Yeah. See, everyone expects the third time's the charm, but I think I think the third time's run out of all that charm, and it's now put onto the other numbers to give it a shot with their own charm.
Lucky
So
number 4.
lucky number 4 indeed.
What's
Uh,
your lucky number, TNT?
I don't really have a lucky number, but I do find myself leaning towards 25 as being sort of my number. So I guess that could be my lucky number if I think about it.
Hmm, interesting.
What would be
Have you
yours?
seen anything relating to 25 at all?
No, I just sort of chose that number a while ago and it's just sort of stuck. So I got to stick to the old tried and true.
Always stick with the ones that make you feel, that extra bit lucky.
Well, do you got a lucky number yourself?
Um, Not too sure myself, honestly. I always get drawn to 27 or any numbers in the 30. Not sure why, but those numbers I'm always kind of drawn to, I guess. I wouldn't say they're particularly lucky, but I would say that they're ones that I'm drawn to. Numerology is weird.
Numerology is weird. You can spend a whole lifetime studying numbers and you'll never get you'll just you'll just keep going, number after number, 1, 2, 3, maybe even a 5 if you're lucky. Uh but that's just how numbers are. You can find a lot of different quirks with numbers if you look hard enough. Uh
Hmm.
just about
Well, I
every oh, you go
I
first.
do remember 143 being uh a normal code, kind of, I guess, or I guess lucky number, I guess. But somewhat of a message. It's weird. But 143 stands for I love you, which is, I don't know, I think very sweet.
Very sweet indeed. I think I find that interesting because it's 1, 4, 3. It skips over 2, and the 4 and the 3 do a bit of a mix up on you. It's a very very nice flowage off your tongue. 1, 4, 3 just kind of just spills off your tongue. Very easy to say. You can just say it all day,
Because it opens your mouth and it lets you speak very freely.
very freely, free as the wind.
And
Oh, free as your
who
breath.
doesn't like being as free as the wind?
I, some to each their own. Not everyone likes the wind. Maybe some people like the water or the earth or maybe the fire.
I think we all like a little bit of fire.
Yeah, but too much of it can be very detrimental.
Well, I
Although
think that's common sense.
some people are kind of drawn to it. I don't think common sense. It's just more just like fire hurts if you get too close. But some people kind of like that. But yeah, to each their own. You know,
I mean,
you get
it's common sense to avoid fire.
some people like to avoid it, but some people like to spread it.
No, I mean as in to touch fire or to be around it.
And let's fourth time the charm. Let's see if this works. Same comp, just as we saw before. We got this custom Explo, the double NZAP. We got a couple. Yeah, a couple of just. I got the C Junior as well, throwing out those taunts and wave breakers, just being a bit of a nuisance, painting and supporting. It seems nothing really happening much on either side, trying to push and take that space in mid. We see a bit of an advantage on the side of blue, but they just can't seem to grab a hold of anything and take it. We've got the C Explorer ready with Splashdown, but I don't think the Splashdown is going to really help in this. Bubble is ready to go as well, but those two specials require them to push up. Getting 2 picks! Very nice, holding that bubble to secure that space, but they do go down. But that is very good space taken, very good, Rainmaker still alive, getting unfortunate, unable to get that check from the Zipcaster. Very good, very fun first push to watch there. What do you think?
Yeah, you see that Zipcaster just Leroy Jenkins just right into the pedestal, just absolutely not caring about anything, and just saving them from getting that checkpoint. So it's still anyone's game at the moment. It's not just locked in for blue at the moment. It is still it's still a chance for yellow to push in and try and get that advantage. We just see the C Junior just throwing torpedoes, trying to be annoying, trying to locate anyone, trying to just make sure that people just aren't staying in these positions for too long. We see one go down on yellow team. It's still not looking good. We see Hime trying to get some picks, putting the bubble in, managing to trade with one, and we see the bubble go down, but the J-Zuka is out. Manages to get one. Always a legendary sight to see as we see him just poking left, trying to get attention. Hime getting J-Splat. Just saying, no, you're not allowed to be annoying, you're not allowed to poke, crushing the Zipcaster. And as they're trying to push to the left side, just trying to get that momentum going, trying to hold out an area, so they go for a big flank on behind, but now blue is in possession of the Rainmaker again. One goes down, Explo is down, and it's just the Rainmaker just alone, getting decimated by the Zuko, and now it's yellow team pushing up on the left pedestal. J-Splat trying to get that space, holding it, signaling this way to get his team's attention to move in right now. And the Range Blaster getting an incredible pick on the Rainmaker. Now getting that one shot that stopped them and wasted so much time there. See, he ends up trying to get space, but not being able to get anyone, and the Rainmaker goes down again just before pedestal. Getting 3!
Oh my god, you love to see it. Just giving his air. That's why we call it the J shot. That's why we call it the J Zuko. He's absolutely shredding it right now. Getting a nice. I don't know how long that streak was, but it's very fun to see that. Very nice to see that.
Yeah, just getting so many picks. The Kraken comes out trying to get the Stamper, but with a lead of 5, it's really crucial now for blue to really work together and synergize. The Rainmaker is alone, and the Roller is all by themselves, just trying to shark and get attention, just waiting for their team to come back. Just waiting, trying to just stall out. Poke spam, you see the torpedoes just constantly being marked on the Rainmaker to try and annoy them, try and say, get out of there, stop pushing, and as they do, and not being able to break the checkpoint.
Yeah, they just tried to go for a Leroy Jenkins, but I don't think they just didn't have the heart in it. We see a pickup on the side of yellow. Not entirely sure why they would do that. Maybe just to keep the Rainmaker out of Blue's hands as Blue tries to go for some desperate plays, bombing, throwing out Hime, trying to get a pick on the shot. Gets the pick though. Very good, but it's just a trade as both those Explo goes down. 3 go down on the side of yellow, trying seems like Blue is going for the third character charm on the checkpoint. I don't think they can get it as they respawn on all three of all. They're just trying to get that lead in the last overtime. I don't know if they can get it. There's all four of them on that plat. The Zuka comes out, and that's GG's.
Quite literally unreactable. You see just how fast Zuka can just completely flip the entire game on its head. I mean, who could have predicted that Zuka would just come out of nowhere and just decimate the Rainmaker, just completely stopping any hope of trying to have an overtime push. And so now we wait on the counter pick from the other team.
What do you think we're gonna see here on the counter pick?
If it was me personally, I would go to Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker.
Uh,
But that's just
very.
my bias as a Dynamo main. Really what I hope to see, at least, is potentially Hagglefish Market. I think Hagglefish really has a good emphasis on good Zuka usage and good backline positioning. So I think it'd be very interesting, and as well as Hime being on roller. But I'm proven wrong as we go right into Splatzone's Shipshape Cargo Company. Bit of a weird map, as it's got the little top and bottom areas that you can just flank behind or push up or hold up top. It's a very weird map, and we don't often see that kind of top and bottom dynamic on Shipshape, as the top and bottom of that structure is gone on most map modes. TNT, what are your thoughts heading into this?
Ship-shaped splat zones. Yeah, I think it's an alright map. It's definitely a Splatoon 3 map, if I've ever seen one. You know, a lot of these maps suffer from being Splatoon 3, but this one doesn't suffer as much. It's probably one of the better maps you will see in any sort of tournament. The left, right, top, and bottom, does make for an interesting dynamic. And all it takes is just one person being able to drop into the enemy as they're trying to push or going forward, getting behind. There's not really much you can do with those pits on either side of the map, as they don't really provide much value other than just trying to run away from something. But we're going into the game now here, and we don't see much of a change. We see another CX blow. We see a pencil and a carbon roller instead of a regular roller. What do you think of the carbon roller?
I think that carbon roller is going to be very deadly. You've seen Hime on roller, so now just imagine Hime, but twice as fast and even more aggressive with such a way more aggressive kit. I think this is going to be very dangerous for Yellow Team at the moment. But we see that Bubbler come out, getting ready to just hold that space. We see them trying to poke at the top, trying to make sure that no one stays on there. The zap goes down, unfortunately, and it's just the Junior trying to paint. The machine goes down, and we see the Junior just trying to get space, but the carbon stops them from ever trying to get any hope of pushing in. We see that Zuka get ready, trying to fish for another one, and not being able to find one.
Unfortunate. That Zuka could have been very beneficial if they were to get at least one. A counter Zuka comes out, but it does find one. A very good pick there on trying to get that retake. A roller underneath in that bubble. Not a very good position for it, as it is stunted and just can't grow and provide as much cover as it can. 3 down on the side of Blue. Yellow pushing up, taking that space, being very aggressive here. I don't know if that's going to play out well for them. But it seems they've fallen back. Another Zuka comes out, finds one at least. Then another one does go down on the side of Blue. Seems to be a very fast-paced game we're seeing.
The legendary Jay Zuka getting one. And I only just realized this now, but there's an error spray on Blue's team.
I never saw that. I'm trying to go for some reef cheese, it seems.
and quite a strange Reef Cheese at that. Not Dreadbringer, not Tetras, not any of those other Reef Cider weapons, but we see Yellow Team just really pushing in, just hunkering in, just making sure to not let anyone get any space as they get a wipeout, and it's tense, and it's 10 points left. It's now or never. The Reef Slider comes up, but that's not enough. The paint nerf absolutely hurts to see, as they couldn't contest or cap the zone after that. Unfortunate.
They really need that special power up and throwing out a couple bombs in the zone beforehand, but I just don't think the Aerospray really has that. Unlike the Dreadringer, which does have that option to just throw out a suction bomb. But I think that would have been too slow there. They just really needed to cap the zone at the end. But it seems like they just were too slow, unable to take that space.
Yeah. Well, you see, either way, they still played incredibly well. They managed to get it down to such a such a low point score of just even while having an Aerospray, and that's no easy feat. You know, Aerospray is a really hard weapon to fight with, so oftentimes its main role is to just paint. And we did see them manage to hold space really well, even with an Aerospray. So I think that really just goes to show the level of skill being displayed here. You know, any weapon, provided the person behind it is willing to really push that weapon to its limits, can make any weapon shine, especially in this meta that's so QR focused, a lot of fight focused, and being able to out mechanical diff in fights. That really any weapon just has a chance to really shine, just has a chance to be able to be played. And we should hopefully be seeing a counterpick soon. TNT, what map are you expecting out of this counterpick?
Just as you said just before the last game, Hagglefish, because it's a very good map for Roller and for Zuka, especially for Roller because it does allow you to take those two sides to get some sneaky little picks. Um, I'm hoping to see we have here one of my favorite maps, Manta Maria under Clam Blitz. I'm hoping, because that is one of my favorite maps, the favorite map, if I would like to say. But I would probably think they're going to choose Hagglefish here.
You reckon Hagglefish? Hagglefish is a very interesting stage, but unfortunately we're not going to Hagglefish. We're going back to Clamblitz on Umami Ruins again on the third pick. I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu here.
Me too. I can't seem to put my, it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know what's going on here. You know?
It'll be very interesting to see either way on what will be different this time around, what we'll be able to see on these different players, what they might bring to the table when it comes to these pushes, these pushbacks, push-ins, everything, and relating to that, especially the special usage as well, getting those oh so important picks, and without a brush as well. So I'm assuming we're going to see a lot more coordinated pushes as well. So you get to see just how well coordinated some people are in Splatoon as well.
I don't think we're going to be seeing another Aerospray here, but it would be fun to see it. You know, never get to see an Aerospray played that much in tournaments. Let's. I don't think there's going to be much changes in the way of the comps on the side of Brisbane. They seem to have a pretty strong comp going, pretty good picks on their weapons, strong specials. Yeah, it all comes down to see if Canberra can adapt to that playstyle and those weapons. But yeah, that's about it on my thoughts on that.
Yeah, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for the countdown to finish up so that we can head into the gameplay soon, which shouldn't be too long. You know, there's a lot of thoughts that go into these games pre-hand, so it's a lot of brainstorming. But we're entering now Clan Blitz on Umami Ruins. I'm not expecting to see much change, but we might see a little bit of something new.
Oh, we see the Stamper coming out. A nice, interesting pick. Pretty strong on this map. There
And
it
the
is.
Bowser Duel is an Aerospray once again.
Love to see the unconventional picks on these teams here. It could be a strong pick, as you know, the players might not know how to deal with those weapons just yet, as they're very unconventional, not seeing that much. As early Zuka coming out, I think finds one, I'm not sure. Hime gets his splat up on Jay, trying to get another splat. We got the Stamper taking mid down to a Wave Breaker. Just trying to take that mid, trying to take to their ramp. Might be a bit difficult. One goes down on the side of blue, striking to see if they can stop that push. But I don't think that's going to be enough. They just don't seem to have the power to push back. And you see here, they're pushing in very strong on the side of yellow. A couple of specials ready to go. I think this is very interesting overall seeing Reef Slider.
That Reef Slider just coming in, committing vehicular manslaughter, being finished off right off by J-Splat, but getting two. On the other hand, now it's just the pencil with J-Splat only having 7. He needs one more clam in order to actually make a push there. If he stays alive, doesn't stay alive, so they're not able to make a push off this, but still, being able to get a double off that means that now blue team is now on the back burner as they're all put into respawn, as we see the NZAP having 6 at the moment. Two members on the yellow team having 6 or 7. Really close to a ball. Here we see the junior now carrying the ball, but it's revealed their location, so really it's just a big target sign that says, come kick me, I'm the junior and I have the ball, as we see the Zipcaster rush in, trying to get someone, but two are down on the side of yellow, and blue are really pushing in. The Aerospray coming in, managing to put out a big explosion, and the bubble are helping to get some extra clams in for the side of blue team.
Yes, we love to see the Reef Slider doing its job, pushing in, being a huge hitbox just to push everyone out, getting a few picks. Love to see it, but we see here yellow taking back mid as quick as they can. You know, that push on blue was just in and out, getting a quick lead. And now we're just seeing if yellow can get that quick comeback into mid. But one is down, but I think they will pull it up. So it's nothing too much. Junior goes down. Another go. 3 down on the side of yellow. They were cooled, so they are going to come back quick. But that push up into red is very essential. Zuka coming out, trying to just stop that. Doesn't find one, but I don't think that's going to be enough to shut down. Another one does go down, but I think that's going to be the end of that push on the side of blue. But it's a good push, getting that couple points in just to further their lead.
Yeah, just purple just having to back off, not being able to get any more space. As we head into neutral again, we see blue just trying to get a little bit down, but J-Splat coming in, managing to find 2, getting that momentum, starting to move in. The pencil's having to back off, but the roller is trying to stop them from ever pushing. Popping out the Zuka. It's now blue team is on the back burner.
Yes, that's a very insane push that we saw there. Very aggressive J-Splat, getting a couple picks, getting a good opening for the team, but they just can't get the lead off of that, which is very unfortunate. They were probably hoping to get a couple more plans in, but they just couldn't hold that space. And now it's back to neutral, but yellow does have to give up so much space, and you see that 3 of Reef Slider comes out, gets 1. It's a very nice play there. Tri-Strike coming out. I don't think finds much value. And we're trying to see here, yellow going through desperate plays, trying to get enough picks to go in, get lead. I just don't know if they're going to find it, but they might! As 3 go down on the side of blue, and 1's left to defend their silo and ramp. But so many have pushed up the side of yellow, and they get basket, and they do get lead in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, you see J-Splat You see J Splat just being really aggressive and just saying, "Nope, this is my time to shine. This is my chance to push in, and I'm not going to let you have it." We see the Reef Slider coming in again, not being able to manage to get anyone, but we see Hime getting 2 right now at the moment. We might see a reversal here. We see the Jay Zuka. It's playing safe. Jay Zuka gets 2, and it's not enough. They managed to get 1 in. The ball goes in, and now the overtime is extended. They need about 3 more clams in to get in. 2 are right there on the side, but it's not enough, and they get the super clam in.
Very nice play there at the overtime. That bubble with Hime, just very strong. Just insane that they were able to get that back. Like, they played it cool, they played it calm, and they just profited.
Yeah, you see, Hime just playing really aggressively, just saying, "Come pay attention to me. I'm the top of the game. I'm the queen. You should pay attention to me and me only," and just letting their team really take advantage of that attention being drawn onto them and managing to get that super clam in. And that was an incredible play there. Just having that aggression, that bubble, just that just that big sign of pay attention to me, and that was huge.
Very huge. That's an unfortunate loss on the side of. Oop, that is no longer there, and yes, it's a huge loss. Going 2-1 on the side of Brisbane. Unfortunate, unable to get that third game under their belt. But it was a good game. Good games played by both teams. Very strong players. Very insane plays that we saw that match. It's the only it's the only kind of plays you'll see with those two top players in those two teams. Just showing off how skilled they are at this game.
Yeah, as we wait, as but we will briefly be right back for a moment as we wait for round 3 of Lone Sailor 2. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. For those who are still watching, this is Lone Sailor 2 Round 3. I'm Wild. Joined again is TNT, the one and only. TNT, how are we holding up today?
Holding up pretty well, just as ever, day by day. Today is just any other day. But today's a special day because it is Lone Sailor 2. We have ourselves Foster Ferry versus Emerald Express, seeing very familiar names, very strong names on both these teams. So I'm feeling that this could go either way, just as every other match we've seen so far.
Yeah, strong rosters from each team. Uh, as our first map will be on Clan Blitz Museum de Alfonsino, a classic from Splatoon 1. I'm expecting to see a lot of potential flanks on the side there.
I'm surprised you can say that name without twisting your tongue, as I don't think I could say that at all. Museum Elfonzino. Yeah, I can't say that
De
as well.
Alfonsino.
D Alfonzino.
There you go. I've gotten used to saying it over the years since it's a Splatoon 1 map, and I've been playing since the original.
I've only been playing since 2, and I was very late to the game. But, ladders to climb, and some people... I don't even know where I'm going with this metaphor. We're just excited to see where these sets are going to go, where these games are going to take us. Let's have a look at these teams here on the side of 4-Star Ferry. We got Carl, Polymuff, Jackie Cat, and Chiriz. I'm not familiar with many of these names apart from Carl, and I've played with him. He's a very strong player. And hopefully the other team members on that team will be able to show me just if they're strong as well, which I'm hoping to. And on Emerald Express, we've got Plus, Visible, Snail, and SS Carrot. I was playing with them in Opens earlier, so very fun to see that name pop up as well. What are your thoughts on these teams that we've got here?
Well, first of all, I'm very excited to see what can happen. As we head into Clan Blitz Museum de Alfonsino now, we see a Carbon coming out on yellow team and a ballpoint.
I'm more excited about that Zimmy we've got right there. I love myself some Zimmy, and we've got the Gal going straight for that left flank, right flank on their side. But seeing a very strong opening on both sides of the team, we've got Cooler up and ready on the side of blue. 2 down already. Cooler still on all those teams, so this is a very strong push. Kraken comes out trying to salvage what they've lost. Does find one pick, but I don't think it's going to do much, as that pick was cooled, and they go straight down after they're done with that Kraken. The very strong opening we've got here.
Yeah, that Kraken going down really quickly right after their cooldown ended. A really atypical comp here coming from the yellow team, but it's that atypicalness that always shines but unfortunately we do start to see the comings of a push on blue team, just pushing in. They've still got clams going, so they might be able to extend it further if they do so desire, and they do, pushing it down all the way to 45 points. The ball points positioned right on the right side, but now they're all alone, so now they're in a really bad spot, not being able to really keep up with the aggressiveness of other players, as the Kraken comes out again, trying to find a pick out, trying to get rid of that ball point to make sure that their team can push in and say, this is our turf now.
Yes, and it is currently a 3v3 in mid. It's a bloodbath out there, as you get one pick after another, one goes down, another there. It's just can't seem to take any space. Yellow can't seem to take any space. Blue just keeping up that pressure, They know how to play this map. They know where to go. It's just, yeah. But 2 do go down, so that aggressiveness might slow down. But that strikes going out, trying to slow it down. Jet comes out, getting 2 picks on the side of yellow. Oh, yeah, that's insane. There's another one, 3 down on the side of yellow. That's a very insane fight we just saw there.
Yeah. A very good triple there from Plus there, just managing to just say, nah, you're not playing aggressive. This is my turf, and I'm gonna hold it down. it's a it's a bit it's a bit unique to see a ballpoint in, especially in this QR focused meta of tactical, especially with pencil dominance as well. It's almost like we've gone back in time to see jet meta again as three go down on blue team, and it's now yellow's team to start saying this is our push now. Get used to us playing aggressive as they get one clam in. The Gal having one ball left and wanting to get in, popping Kraken and managing to get another super clam in, and the Kraken being able to extend and get jumps going, but no one being able to jump, and unfortunately not being able to get any more clams in. But still such an incredible push, going up to 57 off one push. And it's still anyone's game at the moment as we head back into neutral of blue team just trying to claim as much space as possible and just hold as much ground. We see that strikes come out, trying to flush them out, and they start getting into terrible positions, just forced into those positions in the first place. The Gal going down, and we just see the ends up just trying to play safe. The Zuka coming out, trying to find a pick, not being able to find anyone as the one jumps out, and it's not looking too good for yellow at the moment.
Yeah, but with that cooler out now on the side of blue, it does mean that they're going to be able to take fights and come back quickly. As we see 2 down on the side of yellow and 1 respawn quickly on the side of blue. Just trying to take their plight, and they've already pushed up so far. Unfortunately, the one with the ball does go down. The Kraken comes out, unable to stop that ball from going in. That Kraken trying to get 1 pick, but it just seems to overextend and has to run all the way back to defend. That's a very good push that we saw there on the side of blue, and I don't think yellow has what it takes to get back, but, you know, it's a game of many surprises, and hopefully they pull one over on us and get that lead in the last couple of seconds.
Blue not being able to break that penalty too, so they've just given another ball to yellow team. They're just juggling clams around, just trying to make sure that people can push in, but we see the Kraken getting two going down on the side of yellow, and now they can jump in safely just from the Kraken.
Yeah, that's an insane Kraken kill that we just saw there. But unfortunately, yellow goes down, just absolutely getting shut down by blue. They just said, no way, Jose. That's just not going to be able to. And they get in one more ball just to close it out, and that's game.
A very unfortunate end. You saw just how much advantage they got at that very last moment, but not being able to hold that advantage. And it's such a shame because they could have held out and done incredible things on that push, but still, they were playing incredibly well in that game, and it was anyone's game in that, so either way, both teams should be incredibly proud of themselves.
Yes, very strong teams, very strong players, and it just seemed to be a 50-50 at the end there, and they just lost the coin flip. And now we're going straight into a counter pick. We don't even get to talk about what's what. They're just going in for Zone's Hagglefish. Now, Zone's Hagglefish is a strong map, especially for those backlines trying to take up the tent, being able to watch Zone, watch that right flank. What do you think of this map?
Well, like I mentioned in the last round, it's a very good map for backlines to be in very vulnerable positions, but also very important positions as well, and very good for Zuka as well. It really gives you the skill expression of a Zuka player of being able to get a snipe onto a backline. It's a very good kind of push and pull dynamic, especially with those flanks as well. So making sure that your team is all synced up and working together really well. And for all we know, we might be able to see that. We saw, what was it, 3 shots on Emerald, so we might get to see even more shots go off and work with pincers, work with their aggressiveness, work with the ability to be flexible, to be able to paint over each other and displace other weapons as well. We might get to see something awesome like that.
Yes, it really is a shots world, and we're just living in it. Very strong weapon in the current meta, as you get very good paint, very quick Zukas, very good fighter, and all around support. So it's you know, it's just the weapon that can just do it all. especially on a map like this, where it can just go in mid, go on the flanks, get those picks with Zukas. It's just a jack of all trades. And here we are going into the next game.
Black Zones on Hagglefish Market. We see the Neo Splash come out and the Squiffer as well, and the pencil coming out. But not too much difference on the side of blue. But we also see a Dynamo as well on yellow team too.
I was waiting for you to point that out because I'm very sure that you're excited to see a Dynamo being played in this tournament.
Very much so.
We see an early strikes coming out from the side of yellow, trying to just push back blue, but it doesn't get to see much value as 3 are down on the side of yellow. And can they find that 4th? No, they just go straight back up to their plat. But they do have a strong push here. Viz striking out the ramp, just saying they not to come back in, and they push up all the way to plat. Strikes coming to counter that bubble. 1 go down, 2 go down. It's a 2v2 right now. But I think the blue's gonna have those jumps come back in from Pencil. But but 1 does go down on the side of blue. Striking the other players back in on their jumps seems to be a very interesting first couple pushes of the game.
Yeah, we see blue team just pushing up to 57 and then having to deal with the rotation. 1 going down, 2 going down. Now it's starting to look like blue is really getting the momentum back going. The jump in, unfortunately getting camped, and it's now just back to how it was before with blue team pushing back in, just trying to hold that space. You see the Dynamo just on the bottom left there, not being able to really give much value, just unfortunately getting really picked off there. And it's just the end splash struggling to paint, trying to get their strikes going as the strikes just keep coming out. Unfortunately, the strike's finding 2. It's not looking good as the carbon is the last one up, just barely managing to survive, just trying to farm for another Zuka to try and hopefully get them back in. The junior just throwing more bombs in. They're in their base now, so really, it's gonna be really hard as they have 10 points left.
Pencil is going 2 down on the side of blue. Azuka comes out, but it's just not enough. It's unfortunate that they couldn't just get those last couple picks to get in. Unfortunate set of events. Just trying to throw things at the wall and see what sticks, and they just couldn't get anything to stick. But it was a very, very strong game played by both sides. I think just 1 played it a bit stronger. You know, it's an arm wrestle. Just trying to push each other to the side, and I think 1 tripped and the other pushed a bit better.
Yeah, overall a lot more consistency on the side of blue team with having 3 shooters, which is a lot more tight knit and consistent. Whereas a lot of other weapons just need 1 or 2 different weapons in conjunction with them in order to just help them survive, help them just like poke a little bit, just help them survive.
Yes, and you saw in that game just how strong strikes can be in if you know where to place them and know when to use them. Viz is known for playing T-Tech and just being very good at throwing their strikes in the most opportune ways. Striking out the ramp onto the plat of the enemy just so they can get in and block out the enemy. Getting those 2 picks near the end, it's just very, very good to see when a strike does its work. And we see here that the next map has been chosen already, another Splat Zones on Robo Ramen.
Robo Ramen Zones. I'm sensing a little bit of a pattern here.
Yeah, might just be our little monkey brains that like to seek patterns, but I really think there's a pattern here that we're just on the verge of uncovering. This map, as we said before, is one of the better designs mapped of this game. You know, they have those drops to be a nuisance and distract the enemy team. That strong elbow and ramp onto zone. It's just, you have to play your all in order to get this map in the bag.
Just holding those elbows is really important and really crucial, but a pencil as well, just being able to really paint over zone. As we head into Splat Zones, Robo Ramen, we see a Flingza coming out and a Wiper too.
Ah,
Not much of a difference on the side of blue team, just switching out the T-Tech for the Gao.
and of course it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath in neutral, trying to see who can get first zone, first couple picks. Yellow getting zone. One is down on both sides, and they're just trying to get another pick just for the momentum. 3 down on the side of yellow. An insane push that they got there, an instant recap for blue, trying to take that elbow. Wiper comes out, trying to just distract. Can't seem to find much. They do get jumps in from Beacon, but I don't think it's enough, as they just go down and you just can't seem to get back up. Taking those strong positions we see here.
Yeah, the brutality and the absolute decimation that a 52 can really push in. And we see that 52 just like keep putting pressure, keep being annoying, just saying, "Look at me, I am your opponent. I am the threat of the match." As the 52 finally goes down, it's gonna be really hard for Yellow Team to really push in, as they're starting to desync a lot of the time. But we see the reversal all of a sudden.
Yes, that hammer coming in, getting 2 picks, and just flipping that zone almost immediately. The control of the map, just swapping over. Missiles coming out just to be more of a nuisance to the other players, and strikes come out as well. Cooler out, but one is down on the side of yellow. But another one is down on the side of blue, but they were able to come back quickly. 3 down! That's an insane comeback, but they were cooled. So it's just anyone's game at this point. They need to get that recap to get that penalty, but I just don't think they can find it. But they're desperately trying to grasp a hold of that cap. But they did find it.
Yeah, but the 52 getting unfortunately picked off by the Flingza there, rushing in straight into a Flingza flick. The missiles coming out again, just forcing that pencil away, but not really being able to capitalize off of it. We see that Sprinkler still in the bottom of the bowl up top, just putting free paint out there, and there's really nothing that the opponents can really do aside from targeting the pencil, but it's not enough. The hammer gets cancelled really early, and it's just the Flingza. The Flingza popping missiles, but goes down really quickly by a surprise trade, and the Dapples comes rushing in head first, but not being able to get another pick. The bubble comes out, and it's not looking good for Yellow Team as they start pushing back, as they start trying to push back in. And the hammer comes out again, but getting cancelled again!
Yes, it just seems they just can't catch a break, yellow. You know, blue is just being able to put on the pressure, you know? They just got their hammer and nail, just hammering and hammering and hammering. And I just don't think yellow just had what it takes to just break up blue. Because blue is a very strong team, as we just saw, just getting those lockouts. And very, very good game we saw there.
Well, we did see a lot. We did see a lot of aggressiveness with Yellow, just rushing in, just playing aggressive, just pushing in, just so aggressively, and just saying that we want to take space right now. And especially with that Dapples as well, providing not just cooler support, but as well as paint support, as well as beacon support as well for jumping back in after you die from jumping in with cooler. It was a lot of aggressiveness and just a lot of get out of the way, it's my turn to shine now. But just blue just pushing back and saying that it's not their time.
No, they just... Every time that yellow took the spotlight, blue just came in and stole it again. It's like a Looney Tunes sort of joke. You know, Bugs Bunny coming in on stage, Elmer Fudd trying to take care of Bugs Bunny, but Bugs Bunny just counters back. You know, it's just a back and forth. But you know Bugs Bunny is gonna win in the end. It's just unfortunate, but we do get to see a good couple jokes. You know, and as we saw in those games, we just saw a couple good players. You know, especially that hammer finding 2 and getting that instant flip of map control. It was a very good play we saw there.
Indeed. But we will leave it there for the moment as we start getting ready for the top cut of semis. So don't go anywhere.
Don't turn that dial.
Two bitches off meiner Weg, zwei Bitches auf meiner Lab. Oh, I got that oven grass, get that lavish attached. She asked me what's my name, she wanna be my quest. Magic and when I'm blind, it's shit that you cannot digest. That type bitch on me, she got big ass breasts. Smoking up the THC, oh I cannot pass. Shawty calling me a freak, bitch go watch how you act. You gotta ask me for something, said that I just a drag. Stone on the beach.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Lone Sailor 2. We are in the semi-finals of Lone Sailor 2. Our first match is against Canberra Catamaran and Adelaide Arc. Two of these teams have obviously done really well to get to this point. So I'm anticipating a lot of strong, a lot of interesting, and a lot of dynamic gameplay. Our first match is on Clan Blitz Inkblot Art Academy. So as most people know, Inkblot Art Academy is a really unique map. It's got multiple different ways of pushing in order to go score those clams. You've got the brute force kind of ramp, and you've also got the sneaky side angle from behind. We might get to see some kind of sneaky plays here potentially as well, which is always interesting to see. It's always hype to just see these players come in from behind out of nowhere and then suddenly score a clam, and then everyone's suddenly scrambling, or they see jumps behind them and just scrambling to try and deal with them at the last minute, the last second. It's always a good watch, and it's always fun to just watch this go down. As a little bit of a precaution, their screen is allowed with these players, so we just be a little bit cautious on if you are sensitive to screen as we head into the first game of Inkblot Art Academy. We see Hime on roller and a range blaster coming out on the side of blue, and the Aerospray as well on yellow team as well. Aerospray not being a very commonly chosen weapon, but it's interesting to see just what an Aerospray can do with that reslider, just putting out a ton of pressure. We see the bucket on the right side, just trying to hold space, just trying to keep it going. Unfortunately, the range blaster goes down early, not being able to do much there, as the Aerospray is on top right with a fully charged reef slider. The Stamper goes down on blue, and now yellow is starting to force blue into a corner as the Aerospray just starts to try and get clams. They've already got a ball up, but one goes down on the side. Kraken comes in, but they're not able to push with the Kraken. The ball goes out of their hands from reef slider, and unfortunately not being able to get much value out of that as they push right back in. Blue trying to get as much space as possible, getting one down, two down on blue side, unfortunately though, so it's not enough. You see the bucket just trying to push on right side, trying to get clams, trying to take space. We see the roller sharking right just below the ledge, managing to get one. That bomb not being able to roll up. Now two down on the side of yellow, and Hime's having to back off here, just having to play safe as the Stamper goes down by a fully charged reef slider right to the face.
Yes, a pretty interesting first minute to this game, as we see it just a back and forth of trying to get to each other's plats. But it seems that yellow seems to be taking dominance in this game so far. And I just don't know if blue can do... pardon my French, I'm trying to just talk here. But... take the mic, please!
You see the edit managing to get two down. So they're starting to clam up. The Slosher has got enough clams to start really going. There's tons on the plat here, but they're not throwing them to each other. They just need to throw clams to each other. The ball finally goes in, and it's now 80 to 100. Blue team all going down with just a range blaster left to try and survive, but not being able to survive for long as they get picked off immediately. And now yellow team is now really pushing in and really playing aggressive. They got a fully charged reef slider available with the Aerospray having 7 already on the board, rushing in but not being able to get the ball, and unfortunately no use their reef slider. But we see he may try and go in as well, but not being able to get it as well again. Just trying to get that ball in, just so desperate to just try and throw it in, break the barrier, hopefully try and contest a little bit of points towards them, but it not being enough, as the blaster just tries to take the focus on the right side, tries to get their attention. You see the roller heading up on the right stack as well, just hoping to try and push in, hoping to try and claim space, hoping that there's at least a few picks that's going to happen.
Yeah, you see there that yellow just trying some desperate plays, just trying to get at least one clan in. It's not much of a lead on the side of blue, as 80 is very easily taken over, but again, it just all matters on how the yellow can push in and take advantage of picks. One is down on the side of blue, but it's probably not enough, but we just see them just camping at ledge, just trying to get that ball. Reef Fighter goes in, Bubble might be placed too far back to get much value, but we see Kraken comes out, doesn't find much. 2 down on the side of blue, and we get a ball in on the side of yellow. Can they get lead? They do get the lead. Very good play we saw there, but that's going to be an end of it as we see 3 went down just there. Blue coming in for the counter pick, and it goes down. Unfortunate, because it means that they're going to have a cooler late for any pushes they want to make. And it just seems that it's back to neutral. Crab coming out, probably trying to take more space. It might not be able to do much here. Might have been popped too early. That pencil coming in, trying to take down the Crab. Strikes coming out, throwing that flat. No ball. They could have gotten pop in the basket, but they just can't. 3 down on the side of blue, shutting down that play. It's just unfortunate when you see that happens. They go all in and they just lose that bet. And it's now yellow's turn to come claim mid, pushing blue back to the mid. 2 specials coming out, Reef and Kraken. Is this going to be enough?
Yeah, but you know, it's not over just yet at the moment. There's 3 going down on the yellow team, and they were just a little bit overzealous with that push, and they've still got a ball ready. They've still got a ball ready to go push in. They've got 2 balls on the side of yellow now. Just trying to deny them as many clams as possible, but it might not be enough. We get 2 balls on the field right now. The Range Blaster trying to get some pokes, trying to get some focus. It's now or never. They're rushing in, getting 2 more, and they take the lead in a last-second push.
Insane lead we just saw there coming out in the overtime. 2 balls. That's very rare to see, and it just shows how easy it is if you just lose focus at the end to lose that lead you had. It wasn't too much of a lead. It was easily lost, and I just think they just slipped out of their hands. But it just goes to show how strong blue is, being able to stay calm and just get that push in.
Yeah, just that. Yeah, a lot of players just don't realize just how big a now or never push is. You know, it's always better to just go rush in and at least try something rather than not try at all. You know, it's the last second. Throw yourself at the objective in hopes that you might be able to accomplish something. You know.
Yes, it's all too often that you get that overtime, you have one last opportunity, but you just can't seem to grasp it, because it takes that skill to take advantage of overtime. You go into overtime and it's just, you don't know what you're doing really most of the time. But a strong player, they know what they're doing. They just need to play that objective, and we saw that there. They just saw a crack in the defense of yellow and just went through it. They just clown carded in there, when all the clowns come out of that car. That's just what happened there, except clams coming out of squids. Very weird imagery.
But we move now on to Tower Control Mako Mart. I'm excited to see what happens here. Tower Control is a very strong map. Mako Mart Tower is a very strong map mode for any team regardless, and especially in this meta too, with a Zuka that can just completely clear the entirety of spawn, and that little snipe position, that ramp and spawn, can really put a really sour spot. Just really hurt if you're not careful enough and not paying attention to when that Zuka is ready.
Yeah.
And as well as the checkpoints being in such really low areas and areas that are really vulnerable too, which is always like a good strength of Tower Control when it puts the tower into such really dangerous spots for players to take advantage of. As we begin moving on to Tower Control Mako Mart, we see the pencil and the S Blast 90 5, I believe, come out on the yellow team as well as the Dowser dualies.
Yes, some very niche, interesting picks that we don't get to see much, very often in a comp setting. This map mode especially, is one of the most played maps I've probably seen in a competitive setting. Those checkpoints, very hard to get, very rewarding if you do get it, because it just means you do just get to kind of sit back and relax. But only if you are strong enough to do that. And now we have 3 going down on the side of yellow. You know, one more last pick on Azuka, just not even looking. You know, that's just a Azuka pick if you've ever seen one. Another pick going down, a Booyah Bomb to get off of tower, just, you know, no, get out of there. This is where the run ends. We just see yellow desperately trying to take mid again. We see a couple dropping from their plat, trying to take stacks. It just seems that they just need to play, and one does go down on the side of blue. This might be enough to push back in, but it's not enough. We see that S-Boss does go down, leaving it to be a 2v4 in mid with a jump back in from the other team.
Yeah, but you can never really anticipate what might happen here. We see one going down on each side, now the S-Boss going down. Now it looks like Blue's getting back momentum as they start pushing back in again. Unfortunately, the Dowsers is right there, very vulnerable, but not going down just yet before the Kraken comes out and is starting to target everyone. But it's just the range blaster left, no one else on the field, so it's just them alone as the Dowsers tries to find them, but unfortunately gets picked off by them at very long distance. They don't call it the range blaster for nothing, as yellow is now left to fight in a 3v2, not being able to really do anything, but they're looking behind them.
Yeah, as you saw there, the range blaster getting a good couple picks as their team was respawning. It means that they have advantage coming back into the neutral game. And yellow popping bubble, just getting more points as much as they can, striking the tower and booyahing, trying to stop that Zuka from getting much value. Roller trying to get that pick off of the shot. He does find it. Roller coming in to help that pick there, and it seems that they're in a strong position to get more points, possibly take a lead. Oh, but the Kraken comes out, gets one, and might come out to get more. Especially jumping on that tower there, he's able to just get everyone off of it.
Yeah, that Kraken was nasty. You saw them come in from the right angle there to try and catch anyone off guard, and it just so happens that they caught Hime off guard. They're just inching ever so slightly, every little bit on the edge, or every little bit on the tower there. You see the Booyah Bomb coming out, but the range blaster going down. So now it's really starting to tilt in towards yellow's favor. You see, starting to use their strikes, trying to just break the checkpoint. You see Hime under the ledge here, really just at their peak, at their strengths, as they take lead, flip the lead. You see right side really motivated to try and get rid of that S blaster, to try and just get rid of them from any spot. But it's just Hime left on the field, and Hime jumps out, left alone. Now just given free opportunity for Blue to take space, to push really in, hold important areas like the right choke. You see the Zuka come out too, not being able to find anyone. Oh, managing to find one, which is their pencil, the lucky pencil pick.
Yeah, and you see there just how valuable bubble can be on tower control, as bubbling on the tower at specific choke points on the map, such as going against the enemy plat, is very strong. You see just trying their best just to find a few picks. They do get one pick, trying to run away to not die and live another day. Another one goes down on yellow. It's just a bloodbath, as we've said before. It's just very strong players having very strong fights, and they're just trying their best to just take the map.
Yeah, you see Hime just trying to poke, trying to add a sense of paranoia to these players. They don't know that Hime's just on the right stack, but Hime's given up their position. Just notified them that, hey, I'm on right stack, getting ready to push you. Not really being able to inch ever so closely, but it's 10 seconds. It's really close. They've just got to play even more safe. Just hold the tower, and the bubble is in there, so they can't do anything. The edit's trying to push in. The roller managing to find 3 on there, but it's just now or never. Unfortunately, the strikes come out, and it's over.
And we saw right there some GG strikes. Very, very insane game that we just saw there, and it's just none able to push past 50. That just goes to show how strong these teams are, and we just have to see if what's going to happen next. You know, next map on the list is has not updated on the Sendu just yet. It is Splatzone's Hagglefish again. I think we saw this earlier today. It's a very, very strong map for especially pencil players, just being able to paint over zone and watch that right flank. And I think we're going to see more odd picks from both sides, I think. Very fun to see these coming out, you know, just left and right.
We move on to Splatzone's Hagglefish Market. I'm getting another strange sense of deja vu again. The third game, and we move on to Hagglefish Market on zones. It's a little bit of a coincidence, maybe.
Yeah, it seems to just be just, you know, back of the mind. He's like, he's going like, oh, what's going on? This is familiar. Oh.
They have secretly added a wild's parasite into the TO's mind.
I hope that I don't catch that, or maybe I already have. We will never know.
It's not contagious, I think.
Oh, you think? That could just be a bold-faced lie, and I'll never know it. Slowly succumbing to the parasite.
No.
No,
Anyways,
no.
we're moving on. To Hagglefish Market zones. I'm expecting to see a lot of Zukas.
Yes, Zuka, just a menagerie of Zukas, just everywhere, flying, getting picks. It's just a strong special all around, especially on this map. As we've said before, you're probably gonna see more roller action. You know, Hime on the roller, very good for these flanks on this map. Do you think we're gonna see another arrow spray coming out? Because I am very excited to see more arrow spray.
I wouldn't be surprised since this is Splat zones and the zone is very small on Hagglefish. So you're at least able to contest it, or at least contest without any special power up. But we'll see if that theory really holds up as we head into the Splat zones, Hagglefish, the arrow spray right and ready, but the E-leader is also out in play, and there's no Zuka to be found.
Very, very weird to see that there's no Zukas, but it's fun to see an E-leader taking up tent that can outrange the pencil, but the pencil does make up for it with its paint output. And we see now just both teams trying to take up that mid position. Cooler comes out on the side of blue, that might be enough to tip the scales. Pencil on the side of yellow had to jump out after dropping. One goes down on the side of yellow, and it seems to be a very strong game on the side of blue. Those strikes coming out. A respatter coming out, but doesn't find anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you see all of blue just trying to rush in to get rid of Hime, who's just absolutely decimating them on this map. Just trying to keep paint going, but it's still not enough. Yellow Kit just keeps putting more paint and more paint and more paint on it as they've got fizzy bombs, they've got the arrow spray, all just locked in, painting this single rectangle square kind of shape.
Yeah, and you see here that the range blaster can really take advantage of all that paint that it has from all those other weapons, because it just gets to roll around and just dodge and weave and throw out those AoEs. And we see here Hime going again for more picks with the range blaster taking up that tent position. It's very fun to see those two weapons play together. We see Roller trying to gets a one pick there, and Reef Spider taking up the plat, very strong position, very good use of that that special that we don't get to see. But can they keep up the pace, or are they going to crack underneath the pressure? It seems that it's a 3v2 right now, but a quick respawn on the side of blue. Ooh, it might be close here.
yellow team just holding that space really well, but now blue is starting to try and push in with the limited resources that they have. See the Zipcaster being pulled out, trying to play more aggressive. They managed to flip the zone, so it's not over just yet. They managed to get him right there at the last moment on their Zipcaster, being able to, now free to push in, but the range blaster is stopping that Stamper from ever pushing forward. Just sharking under the ledge. You see the Kraken just try and get a pick, managing to barely get that Stamper. The Aerospray does go down on yellow team, and Teammate is just absolutely crushing everyone.
Yeah, it just seems that blue just can't seem to hold any space they get. It's just unfortunate. And blue does get a good pick with that E-leader and striking out, trying to get another good take of the zone, but it seems they just don't have the paint output versus Aerospray and Pencil. It's just a, you know, an art museum out there, just so much paint everywhere.
That E-leader is holding space even more so. So it's really hard for yellow to really push in, but the Aerospray coming in with that Reef Slider, not being able to get the pick on the E-leader, and the E-leader is now in a way more aggressive position. It seems like that E-leader is starting to really just say, I'm gonna push in and you're gonna have to respect my space. But it seems yellow is also coming in with that exact same argument as they push in another Kraken again, trying to find anyone potentially shocking, just hiding around, but not finding anyone because they're all back in their spawn.
Yeah, it seems that they just can't seem to take any positions. We saw just before that the leader was trying to get a good shot on the Pencil, but the bubble come in from Hime, just stopping that. And we see now just blue desperately going for capping zone. But it might not happen just yet. 1 minute on the clock coming in, and we see just they're desperately trying to paint as much as they can.
Yeah, it's just stuck in a back and forth at the moment. You see the Aerospray trying to flank from the left. You see that Reef Slider come in, taking all that aggression, taking all the attention away from them, saying, you have to pay attention to me, and Aerospray as the Kraken comes in, right in their spawn. It's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard for blue to make a last-ditch effort in the last 30 seconds to try and contest. They've got 5 points left on the board, but it's not over just yet. It's currently in a bit of a contest right now. Bit of a struggle, and it finally flips to blue, but there's still 3 down, and the Aerospray comes in, committing vehicular manslaughter again. With the last 10 seconds left, it's not looking too hot for blue.
Unfortunately, Koa could not get that shutdown on the Reef Slider and goes down. A sword versus a car, it's not going to go pretty for that sword. But we see now that it's not over until the clock says 0 or until the zone says 0, the score says 0, but they just can't seem to repaint zone, unfortunately.
Unfortunate, yet still such an incredible game there. You just saw the aggression and being able to flip so easily on both sides. It truly was anyone's game at that moment.
Yeah, just a big back and forth. But so much paint coming out from that team. Just the Aerospray, the Pencil, the roller. It's just a lot of paint, especially with Bubble being able to push up, take space, and especially with that new paint buff that it got where it paints underneath the beacon. It helps a lot, especially on a game like Zones. And next up, we have Rainmaker on Museum D. Zeno. Can't say that.
Museum di Alfonsino.
I'll leave those ones up to you. This is an interesting Rainmaker map because there's 2 ways to get to. This is one of the rare ones where it's only 1 checkpoint, right?
Right, but it does have multiple ways of entering into that 1 checkpoint just to really open up that map. It's kind of a checkpoint of really, we want you to get this checkpoint really quickly so that you can really open up the map. You know, you've got that jump straight from mid after you pop that Rainmaker, and it's just so easy to get that pop in. You can do it in less than about a second or so, about in like 2 seconds or so. It's really quick and really easy to break that checkpoint. But, you know, you could also go for the side route as well, which is a little bit more safer because you can pile up resources then. and then proceed to just shatter defenses as you push right in on the right side.
Yes. Especially this map is such a hard one to get that checkpoint, since the checkpoint is up on the enemy's plat. A very strong position for the enemy. But you just have to go at it and go at it hard. And we're going into the game now with a splat charger on the side of blue. An interesting pick. And the Aerosbro comes out again. Fun to see that every time it shows its face.
It's a bit strange to see an Aerospray, yet I can't deny the hype that it brings as well.
Yes, let's just hope that the Aerosbro can just bring some clout to its name. And we see here, going for an early pickup on the side of yellow. That might be a bit of to the detriment, because it's technically a 3v, it's just one player down, but you can still get some value from the Rainmaker. Bullet comes out, coolering Hime, just taking their plat. You see 2 on their plat already. Bubble comes out on their plat as well. Just a very strong first checkpoint on the side of yellow, as we see blue trying to push them out of their plat. Koa trades there with the bucket. I think that was it. And we see now just going straight for the points, but unluckily shut down by the splat charger we see.
Yeah, Hime just figuring, just run it in now, get some points. It's almost at max LDE anyway, so it's a really good push and a really strong one, and just trying to continue it with Kraken, trying to target anyone that they see fit. But now it's looking like a bit of a reversal, as the Range Blaster is trying to play a lot more aggressive in their base, but just barely managing to target that Rainmaker just before they managed to break checkpoint. It could have been very much of a sneaky moment there from Jazz if they had managed to almost get that checkpoint and be able to rush in after that, or be able to jump out after that. You see the bucket just trying to claim some space, using the strikes to force them out, but Hime right in their face. It's just the charger left, and they've only got their vac left to use, but the vac is not going to be able to stop them completely as they push all the way to 10. And they've now got a big explosion that's not going to be able to find anyone just yet, as yellow team starts to push back into mid to try and stop the Rainmaker and hit the Rainmaker as soon as possible so they can keep going with that energy and push.
Yeah, and you see there the Rainmaker tried to drop that right flank, but that is a Rainmaker free zone, so they had to get it out of there as quickly as possible. But they do go down to a couple of them just focusing down that Rainmaker. We see now just blue just trying to get into the plat, trying to get back into mid. And 3 go down on the side of yellow. That might just be their way to get this check. Just have to set up a strong push. But 1 goes down just as they get check, and the Reef Ladder came out getting probably another one. I wasn't paying attention. 3 went down, but they were cooler than 1 jumps out. So that's a very insane counter to that push that we saw by yellow. Very fun to see that happen live. Yeah.
Yeah, you see Hime just trying to instill a sense of paranoia, a sense of fear with those curling bombs. You know, a lot of what you'll see with Roller is just trying to bait your enemy out, try and stall them or scare them with the curling bomb that could be holding you at any given moment, just inching ever so closely, and you won't know it. The Range Blaster going down, 2 going down on the side of yellow. The Slosher starting to push in. They popping their strikes to go push in and trying to get as much space as possible. The bubble comes out early from Hime to try and protect themselves, but they're a little bit discontinued from each other. And we see the vac come out, managing to get 1 off there, and being able to save that Rainmaker, being able to keep that going. It's just the Aerospray up top, but the Rainmaker goes down, and they're not able to get past 10.
Yeah, you see here that there's an instant drop by the Rainmaker on the side of yellow. That's a very good play by there. Even though they are 2 down, it's just going to be very difficult for blue to get the Rainmaker back on the plat. And we see just 1 goes to straight pick it up. You see Azuka trying to come out and get 1 pick, but goes down by Hime's hand. It's just, don't think it's going to be enough find... Oh, but 3 are down on the side of yellow. This might be blue's chance to come back. Just need to get a couple more points. But it just might barely be enough. They're just hoping and praying that this one last push is going to work. And we see that 2 go down. This might be it. The VAC coming down to secure... To get 11, 1 point away from the lead. Unfortunate. Can they get it? They get it! And the dunk at the last second. How about that?
Wow, how often do you get to see an Inkvac actually be able to get so much value out of its shot?
Yeah. You don't... it's just, we didn't see it much protecting the Rainmaker with the huge hitbox to say, no, you can't hit here, you can't shoot here. But that explosion just comes in and just lets them get that lead, that dunk at the end. An insane play by Blue just to get one last hurrah at the end of this set. And it comes down to Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge, 2-2. It is these two teams staring down each other, and we just get to see just another what is going to be a death battle coming up soon. What do you think of Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge?
Yeah, we move on to Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge. It's a very tricky map. It's a lot of neutral. It's a lot of fighting in neutral and having to micromanage the players who are watching both the top and the bottom of mid, and just also watching who's on that little extended tower in the middle, and just making sure that you're able to really hold that area well. But you know, Zuka is always a common option on this, so we might see a cooler Zuka finally, just to try and flush out that right ramp and that elbow in order to go push in. But as you know, Hime is a very strong roller, and Hime is very likely to thrive on this map too, since of how flat it is. That you can enter from the left side and be completely flat, and just not have to worry about too much elevation really, and just hide in different areas that you're able to really nail down and shark in and just hold that area. Just someone's just minding their own business, and then you see, boom, out of nowhere, a roller just sharking and coming out from thin air as you head into Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge. Not much, actually, quite a lot has changed from Yellow Team.
No arrow spray this time, but we do get to see another Dazzle Doolies and S-Blast combo. This is a pretty interesting comp that we see. We do get to see one Zuka on the side of Blue, with Koa on the squeezer. And we see here one already down on the side of Blue. Not a good start so far, but they can bring it back just as quickly as they lost it. It's anyone's game just in the first 30 seconds of the match. Now this map is very it's not too bad of a map. It's Clan Blitz, and you only have 2 ways to get to basket, and one of them is very risky over grade. So we see Rangebuster pushing up to Yellow's plat, getting 1 pick, getting 2 picks. That is insane. Just staying there on the plat, getting a few jumps in for their team with the ball. Kraken comes out, and that's going to be a basket in for Blue Team. A very good, strong push. Will they be able to get more claims in? And they do. They get a couple, getting a nice lead to 60. Oh, this is a very interesting start that we see. Only 1 going down, so 2 going down. It's a strong defense from Yellow.
Yeah, managing to push all the way to 62 with a 19-score penalty. Just Blue just playing so aggressively in that moment to just be in their face, get their attention, and start pushing in. But Yellow is now finally starting to turn the tables. See the strikes come out to try and displace them, trying to get Blue in just a little bit more. We see the Dowsers go down, unfortunately, but the Range Blaster quickly follows up as well. Just a constant battle of trades non-stop, but 3 go down on the side of Yellow. It's 3 opportunities just for Blue to push in. They manage to get a clam in, and they stop. And they finally have the opportunity to start piling in more clams, pushing down all the way to 52.
This has been a pretty fast-paced game as we've seen already. Just down below 50 on the side of blue already. Such a strong opening to this game, and there's only like 3 minutes left, it seems. Yellow still could bring it back pretty easily. They just need to get one good push in with plenty of clams. They just need to play this very carefully and very cautiously, but also they can't let up the aggression, otherwise they'll be taken over by how fast blue is going.
You know, it's never over until it's really over in Splatoon. You see the strikes come out, the Squeezer just trying to be on an off angle, trying to get anyone, managing to get the Dowsers go down, the Pencil's just trying to find a pick, the Hime managing to play really aggressively, but that Cooler managing to block some of Hime's shots. Unfortunately not being able to follow with that Squeezer, but they're pushing really hard. Hime really weak at the moment, but the Squeezer goes down finally, and it's Hime just trying to play really aggressively. They have 6, so they can start pushing really soon, but they don't have enough space to really work with as the Blaster's on top, and they have Booyah ready. They're trying to get ready to use Booyah, and they're all piled up super conveniently. I think it's now time for Yellow team to really start pushing in. 3 go down on the side of Blue, so now Yellow is starting to really push in. They've got tons of clams in their economy, and it's not looking very good. They still got a super clam ready to jump in for anybody respawning as well. It's 50 to 46. Just a few more clams is enough to switch it. One more clam is enough to switch lead. They've got the bubble going, and it's enough to switch lead going in from there. They still got one more super clam, and they're getting a jump in. Hime gets 2, pushing in, holding that space really well. Now to 18, 15, 12, 9. 3 more clams in, and the game is over.
That's such an insane push that we just saw there. As I said, all they had to do was play cautiously and carefully and not let up that speed, and we just see them. They played that fast, they played that hard, and it paid off for them. That was an insane push we saw there. Hime really taking down as many as they can, just showing how good they are on that roller. But the other team members just there to back them up and clean up where the messes are, and just being able to just push so hard. And we see now Blue trying to push up to their ramp, getting one good pick on the S-Blast. Now we're just going to get to see if they can get another, and they just cannot. Range Blaster goes down by the Dowser Dooley's hands, and we just see here, Blue has to play this just the same as Yellow did, and they just need to get a couple more clams in. Just a few more, couple balls. This could be anyone's game so far, but that bubble coming in, Strike to counter it. Can they get in to get that ball? And they get the basket open, but will they have enough clams to get in? But no, Hime shuts a clam down in. That's unfortunate, and we just need to get a couple clams in to keep overtime going, and it's unfortunate. That game goes to, let me just remember the name, Canberra!
Yeah, you just saw the absolute strength of that one push there. They managed to get so many clams in just off one collective push there. You see that Booyah Bomb really managing to flush them out and really force them to all push left, which gave them the perfect opportunity to go push in with that momentum, that kind of energy, as they all had to scramble away from that Booyah. I dare say that was an incredible match.
Yeah, you just saw that back and forth there of trying to take mid, but unfortunately with Clam Blitz, it's really not about mid, it's just trying to push the enemy back far enough, and you just see there that Blue just couldn't get that space back no matter how hard they tried. Even at the end there, they just couldn't, because that roller was up there, ready for that one-shot flick. It's just very difficult, especially, again, on Scorch Gorge, where that basket is in a very narrow space where it's very easy to hit with a roller. So you saw there, it's just unfortunate that that the roller was just underneath that ledge, just ready to shut down those clams.
Yeah, and just they were just playing really, really aggressively but patiently aggressively, not rushing in recklessly, but just waiting for their moments just to strike. Just those just little bits of time where they're able to just wait and then really hammer in the fact that they're pushing.
Yes, of course. It really just comes down to who makes the first mistake and who can break the opponent first and who can take advantage of that breakage and of that crack. It's just very, very fast game that we saw there, just getting absolutely pushes. Just unfortunate they just couldn't get that last push in when they wanted to.
Yeah. And as well, just that Rainmaker game as well. Just how incredible that VAC was as well. Just managing to get so much value out of that one shot, being able to pop the barrier, push in, and then manage to get a knockout from it too, no less, is no short of an incredible feat as well.
Trying to look for a specific quote here that came to mind as soon as I saw that last push. The opportunity to defeat the enemy comes from the enemy itself, and I just think that Yellow just took that opportunity the first time they saw it. You know, just very, very strong. Just to take that opportunity, grasp it by the neck, and just say, "It's our turn. We're going to do this. Sit back and relax."
Yeah, as we move on to finals now, these are the top teams going at it right now. Brisbane Barrage and Canberra, who we just spectated. So it's going to be another redo of what we saw earlier between these teams. I'm excited to see what we might see here. At least between these two teams on Tower Control Museum de Alfonsino.
Yeah, we have the rematch here. We have the rematch against J-Splat and Hime and all the others, Velo and Pult and Funky. It's going to be another strong back and forth, I think, again, as last time we saw these two teams duke it out. It was anyone's game, as we saw. So I'm very excited to see how well these teams can play, especially now knowing what the other team might throw at them.
Yeah, especially so. And you know, we're seeing we're seeing a lot of Museum de Alfonsina today, which is a lot more than what I was expecting. You know, Museum is kind of a weird, you know, a map mode sometimes. You don't see a lot of times. It's got a lot of geography that, no pun intended. It's got a lot of geography of being able to, or having multiple different inkable walls to really jump up, climb up, or areas to hide in as well. And it's a lot. It's a very weird but also very interesting map.
It's a very interesting map indeed, especially you have that right flank into mid, and you have the drop down there where you can easily camp, especially with like a blaster or a roller or a stamper. It's just, to win this map, you need to take those positions as quickly as you can and keep them. And we'll probably see, especially with Hime on the roller, probably trying to take those positions as best that they can. But again, it seems to be anyone's game. They just need to play out of their minds, you know, just going at it hard. You know, just doing the best they can. They need to put in their all. They need to go plus ultra, as they would say. So hopefully we can get into the game soon, but we have to wait for the room to be created and and for the players to join. No breaks this time. We're going straight into it. So don't turn that dial. Don't pick up that remote, and don't click away, as you're going to see a pretty intense showdown between these two teams.
This is how I know I'm getting old, because I don't know what a plus ultra means.
You don't know what a plus ultra means?
No.
You haven't seen My Hero Academia?
No.
Oh my god. See, that was on my mind because J-Splat, for their team, forces, I think, Draco to watch My Hero, because Draco had never seen an anime before, and it's just on my mind. It's one of my favorite animes, actually.
Really? Draco
yeah.
has never seen anime before?
Just apart from My Hero, which they were forced to watch. after their win in the qualifiers.
I should have gotten Draco on a different anime.
What anime would you have suggested?
Soso no Frieren.
I wouldn't know that one, I'm sorry.
Now this is how I know I'm getting too old.
I don't think you're too old. How old are you?
That's a question that no one's gonna get an answer to.
Well, that's... Okay, well,
Don't worry though, I'm of age,
yeah, I'd assume so.
as a lot of people do. I've been told that people think I'm 25.
Look, it's better for people to think you're older than they think they're younger. I've been told that I sound like a 14-year-old, and I've been told that I'm very young looking, very young sounding. It's very sad, as they would say.
You sound more in your 20s, honestly.
I am my very early 20s, 21, the nice ripe old age of 21. We're getting into the game very, very soon. I think the countdown has started. We just need to wait patiently. But I don't think I can wait patiently because this game is gonna get my blood popping. It's gonna get my blood boiling. Just everything comes down to this one set. Who takes home the gold? Who takes home the silver? There's nothing wrong with taking home silver, but like that prestige, that gold in your hand, in your eye, very, very good to have it. Bragging rights. Because at the end of the day, this is just a game. But those bragging rights, they're amazing to have.
You know what they say, second the best.
Second the best, first the worst. And what's the
Well, I
saying?
wouldn't say the worst.
What's the saying about third place though?
Well, when I was growing up, it was third's the one with the with the golden chest.
With the golden chest. That's not what I remember, but we can go with that one just for today.
But yes, we will be getting into Museum di Alfonsino tower control. It's going to be a little bit tricky since the tower does move away from spawn, so we might see a little bit of a snowball here. Not a very typical tower control map that I see very often, but we'll just have to see what happens here. We see the Aerospray coming out again, the Range Blaster on both teams, and unfortunately a DC right before the game starts. I'm getting another strange sense of deja vu here.
Another sense of deja vu, and I think Telstra came back just for one more last revenge. So that's unfortunate. And we did see there that J-Splat is on the J shot. Seems to be a pretty standard comp on the side of blue team. And again, the Aerospray coming out. Can the Aerospray take home the gold? Take that silver Aerospray, take it to a gold Aerospray. I'm hoping and I'm praying. I'm maybe a bit biased, but love me some Aerospray.
I'm hoping that for the last game that they pull out the gold Aerospray so that they're able to really hammer in the fact that they got gold, if they do, of course, get gold.
Yes, especially with that Booyah Bomb, able to take space and just deny space from the enemy, being able to displace any backlines that they may have to face. And now we're getting back into the game, and we're ready to go, same comps as last time, just before the DC, and we're seeing again Aerospray, the pencil, a lot of paint on the side of yellow, and it just seems to be another standard comp on the side of blue as well. But no real backlines on any of these teams except for the pencil. And now we're just going into a bit of a neutral game here. Just all four of them just on their plat. No one's trying to push down. J-Splat drops to the right. Another drops as well. Cooler coming out in top mid for yellow. And we see here 2 goes down on the side of yellow. And it's just going to go, map control might just go back to blue. Restarter comes out, not able to find any picks. Trying to take the plat of yellow, but they just can't seem to do it. But they do take 3 down, and Hime bubbles up the other bubble, just trying to keep that space, trying to keep where they are. It just doesn't seem to have worked to their liking.
Yeah, you see yellow team here just trying to keep as much territory as they can in their possession. They don't have a lot of painting resources to work with, unlike blue team, which has a total of 3 shooters to work with. But now they're finally starting to get momentum in. The bubble pops in, but unfortunately 2 goes down on the tower thanks to a bomb. But it's not enough. They're finally able to push it. They're still going, even despite the Kraken going out, but unfortunately manages to take them or get them off the tower. And unfortunately, it's another DC. I'm not too sure if that counts as DC rules.
That might actually count as DC rules because neither team have gone past 50, and it's still within the time frame of a DC, as it hasn't gone past 3 minutes yet. Or I'm actually not sure of the ruling on that. But it seems that both teams are still playing this, so we're just gonna have to see if yellow can bring it back with the DC. It would be a very huge blow to the blue team's morale if they lose to a DC. But it seems they're not going to let that happen, as they have taken the wipeout and taken second checkpoint.
And another DC. Now suddenly the game has turned into a 4v2. It's not looking too good. And another DC as well.
What?
This is certainly something that has happened.
I don't know if this is going to count towards anything, because that is 4 DCs in a row actually, counting that last game. Replay. We're going to have to see what the TO's verdict of that is, because it just doesn't seem like a fair fight. We came here for a bloodbath, not for a paddling pool. This isn't. It's unfortunate to see that happen.
We'll have to leave it to the TO's discretion to see what necessarily is going to happen with this. In the meantime, though, we can talk about Museum de Alfonsino Tower Control. TNT, what's your thoughts on it?
First of all, can you say that name 3 times in a row?
Museum de Alfonsino, Museum de Alfonsino, Museum de Alfonsino?
There we go. There we have it. You can do that. Very nice.
I'm very flexible with my tongue.
Hold on, let me recover. So with this map, it's a very interesting map because the tower does go around the spinner, which does give a lot of cover for the attacking team, and it makes it a bit difficult for the defending team to come in, because they have to go either just straight up to the tower or just come around, and it's you have to be sneaky about it. And we see here just the TOs trying to figure out what's going to happen. But a very interesting fight that we did see, even though it didn't last long. We saw blue team just, showing how strong they are at pushing with their 3 shooters and range blaster. Yeah. That's...
It seems that, I think, was it Canberra's team is getting another free replay after that match. So we'll have to see what happens afterwards with this, and whether or not the DCs will keep continuing or not. Telstra is not a very happy camper today, it seems.
No, it seems that the lone sailor sailing out at sea, not very good internet out at on the seven seas. So, but just gotta keep going. And we see here getting back into the game, seeing the same comps as per the rules, and let's see if this goes any different.
Yeah, well, we've seen this comp 3 times already. We've seen the opening already. So we might get to see a little bit of something different. You see the vanilla range blaster going down immediately at the start, jumping back in, and it's just blue trying to get as much space as possible, try and really push in.
Yeah, and you see here, Azuka comes out trying to find one pick, but does find two. Reefrider coming in, taking out another one. You just see another bloodbath in mid, and you see a bubble on the tower, just making sure they get more points from that one push. Hime just trying to play at that plat, but I don't think it's going to get much value, as it's just a fighting. I don't think the team is going to get distracted by that too much. We see here Blue already pushing up to where they were before the DCs happened. It just seems that just trying their best, Yellow just trying their best to do what they can, and we see two go down on the side of Blue. They were cooled, so Kraken on the tower for Blue, more points. It just seems to be just a downhill, you know, a very what's it called? A very snowbally type of thing going on right now.
Yeah, you see the range blaster trying to get that one shot on the end zap, but not being able to get that precious one shot that every blaster strives for. You see the Aerospray just trying to stay on top of tower. Hime trying to push in, not being able to get anyone, but that's a wipeout on blue team. Now yellow team has to push in and try and claim as much space as possible before everyone gets back on their plat. And just so quickly, everyone's already recuperated back onto plat already. Just rotating around it, trying to play safe, but they don't have enough space to work with in order to get them off this first checkpoint as they break the first one. So now they're able to start pushing in, one going down on the side of blue team, one jumping out. It's now even on both ends. Roller is still on tower, starting to push it ever so slightly, but the Zuko getting picked off in a very dangerous position. The Snipe Rider trying to get up on the top space there, but not being able to do anything. The ends up is trying to strafe around them, but the Aerospray comes out, but not being able to get anyone with that Reef Slider as the ends up. Where did Hime come from? Hime just came out of nowhere.
We'd like to see that the roller just coming out and really showing the power of sharking in this game. Just even us, the commentators, just did not see it coming, and blue team did not see it coming either. But we see now just yellow trying to take that space, trying to take those hits. You know, we see that they're taking mid pretty alright, just bombing out the plat. We see that blue having a hard time trying to come in. A bubble does come out, just trying to keep that space. Reef Ladder come in, doesn't get too much value from that. We see a bubble on tower trying to take that next checkpoint. We see now just an absolute decimation on the side of yellow. Blue really just coming back in, just going, no, this is where we put a stop to it. But yellow just coming back just for revenge, just can't let it up. If we see that tower falls back, and just the pencil trying to take tower, just trying to recover their lost space. We just see it's just not enough, and it's just unfortunate that that push ends there as blue retakes mid.
Yeah, but still, yellow is not letting go of this tower control just yet. As blue coolers up, they're trying their best in order to stop them from inching it ever so slightly like they've been doing. J-Splat having to jump out right to the bubble that's protecting them all in their plat. One's on right side, just trying to keep poking, just trying to do as much annoyance as they can. One going down on the side of yellow. They've got a minute left of gameplay. J-Splat taking back control of the tower as they push right back in. All in yellow is on their plat, just trying to keep their space as much as possible, trying to push it ever so slightly before the Kraken comes in and ruins the fun as they manage to get one on the tower.
Yeah, and you see just before this absolute disruption happened, you saw the Aerospray trying to push up to the Blues plat, just trying to be a distraction, but just couldn't do as much as it hoped. We see now Blaster taking up that position, just poking the plat, and you see Blue just absolutely having a chokehold on mid, not letting yellow drop. But a couple do drop, trying to take that position. Reef Ladder comes out, doesn't get a pick, but the roller comes out, get a pick, but the Zuka by J-Splat gets the, I think, a triple or a double there at least, and it's GG's for yellow team. insane at the end there.
Yeah, you just saw that Zuka just get pulled out, and you could just see your life flash before your eyes right as Jay Spider's about to fire it. It's a rite of passage when it comes to playing competitive Splatoon in Oceania of just getting Jay Zuka at least once in your career.
Yes, it's very fun to see when a Zuka moment happens. Just absolute insanity when it happens. That is why Zuka just has a stranglehold on the meta right now. You don't see many teams without a Zuka, just like how you don't see many teams without a Cooler. It's just those two specials, those two weapons, just dominating the current field of play of Splatoon 3.
They
And I
work like bread and butter as we move on to Clan Blitz Manta Maria. TNT, you're very adamant about your love of Manta Maria. Can you explain a little bit about your love of it?
I love Manta Maria just because, in Splatoon 2, I had 100% win rate on Rainmaker for Manta Maria. I don't know how many times I played that map, but 100% is 100%. And let's just say, I love the aesthetics. I love the positions you can take up as a backline, taking up bunker, taking up those grates, just absolutely raining down ink from the heavens. Just if you're like an edit or like something that has range, you can just be an absolute menace from the grates from bunker. And I love the cut on the side there that you can just jump and just be an absolute menace and distraction. It's a very fun map, very cramped, but you do get a lot of space and a lot of fun from it. It's just an all-around amazing map.
I can agree definitely with that little jump over the void there. I've seen my fair share of accidents on that stage, of people just accidentally falling off and all those extra funny little moments of just whoopsies, I didn't paint the wall in time, and here I go plummeting my death, especially with that clam. As we start to move on to Clam Blitz Manta Maria, this is gonna be exciting.
Oh, I'm very excited. And we see S Plus coming back. No, sorry about that, chat. We see no Aerospray, which is very, very appropriate because I don't think you can get much value from an Aerospray on this map unless it was a gold Aerospray. And you see 3 taking right on the side of blue, just trying to absolutely just flank that mid, just coming out from the side while yellow takes it from the front, trying to blindside them. And we see here just Zuka coming out, trying to find one, doesn't seem to find many, just nothing at all. And we see J-Splat trying to take Yellow's bunker, fighting, gets traded by the pencil you see there. And you see they came back quick because of Cooler. And it's just absolutely just trading blows back and forth. It's just no one really has a full control of mid just yet. It's not enough to get into basket.
Yeah, we see 3 going down on the side of blue team. Now yellow team has really got the advantage, especially when that junior is marked with that ball right there, telling them that this is where the junior is. You see them trying to get as much space as possible, trying to divide themselves between the multiple different pathways that they have. You see the S-Blast trying to poke around that left side on the box there, but not being able to get anyone there. You see the Zuko trying to push in. It's still 2 down on the side of blue team, and they're just trying to rush in. The pencil goes down. The roll is trying to push in, manages to get 1, but goes down right after. Dooley's also going in and dying right after. It's just the S-Blast left to try and to push in, but they manage to sneak behind.
Yeah, and that's why I love this map so much. That cut is just, you have to watch it, and if you don't, you will surely pay the price. As you see just there, getting that sneaky clam in. You see J-Splat trying to get a pick with the Zuka. Does get 1, but I think it might have been too early to get too much value from that. And we see now just Blue trying to take back mid. Roller takes down 2. That's an insane play by Hime, but I don't think, because you have Blue trying to push up to the street. And you see here just so many specials ready, 2 specials on both sides ready to go. You see now Blue pushed up to their street, and you see it just might Might be anyone's getting a hit, getting 2, getting 3 on the side of blue. Hime sets up a bubble for a jump in of the clam. It's just insane play that we just see there, just getting more points in. What a play by Hime.
Yeah, you see Hime just completely ignoring just any form of I should back off. No, Hime says, nah, I'd win 100%. As J Splat gets enough for a ball, now J Splat throwing it back, trying to throw it to his allies, just hoping to get another pick off, picking it back up just to make it not despawn, and just trying to push in. You see one down so far on the yellow team. The cooler goes down in the bunker, one pushing back in, trying to get the ball again. It's just a constant back and forth, and really now more than ever, blue really needs to get a couple picks off on yellow in order to really start pushing in.
You see now it's 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock here, and blue is really struggling to take mid and push up onto the enemy street and bunker. You see now they try to sneak in a ball, but they just couldn't because there was too many watching the cut. And you see, it's just a very close game because it's still a very doable win, very doable lead for blue to overtake, as it's not that far down. That's only like two balls and a couple clams. Booyah trying to just come out, and it's just very difficult to keep up with how fast this game is going. I'm trying to say one thing and the game's just gone off already doing another. It's just insane.
Yeah, that's so much of the fun of Splatoon, of just how quickly everything can completely shift in terms of momentum. One team is suddenly building momentum and then suddenly loses it all to the other team as they start pushing back in with that momentum. It's just a constant exchange of energy between two different teams sometimes. You've got two marked at the moment right now. J-Splat fishing for that shot, manages to get one on that S-Blast, going in for a flank on the side there. It's now starting to look like that blue is trying to get a push going at the last 10 seconds. But they don't have a ball on them at the moment. They need one more before they're able to get a clam in to really start to push in. They've got a few seconds left of overtime. They're just trying to chuck the clam to each other. They managed to get one in, and now they just need a bunch more mini clams to get in. But it's just Hime left on the field. It doesn't look too good, and they managed to
take
flip
the
the lead.
You love to see the last minute lead just there in overtime. Yellow there just playing a very strong game on defense, but just again, one small crack, one small slip, and it's all done.
Yeah, just so much of that pressure was concentrated right on street, and so it was extremely hard for anybody in that situation to really defend with so many different things going on. The wave breaker, the torpedoes, which is really, C Junior's strength of being able to paint for its team, but also really being able to just be a nuisance of just spamming annoying things that make the enemy pay attention to you or not have to just pay attention. Just a constant flip of pay attention to me, don't pay attention to me, don't focus me. Just so much of that. But now we move on to Splatzone Shipshape Cargo Company. I'm seeing a lot of maps that we've already seen today.
Yeah, just more deja vu. Just very repetitive maps, but these maps are very good on a competitive scene. You have very limited to select for, especially for Splatoon, as so many maps suffer from so many different things that you have to really nitpick and just choose which maps work and which maps don't. So it's very, very common to see repeats, but these repeats are going to show the strength of each team and each and every player.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to play zones on Scorch Gorge?
Zones on Scorch Gorge. As much as Scorch is a map, if it's ever been a map, that very tall tower in mid just unfortunately just does not let you do much in zones. Too much space is taken up by it.
I get flashbacks to Black Belly Skate Park every time I see it in rotation.
I miss that map. So many maps no longer in Splatoon 3. And here we are going into the next game here. I don't think there's going to be much change on the side of Brisbane. Just trying to remember these team names here. And we see Aerospray coming back out again. We see the second kit of a machine here for the Zuka. We see double Zuka on the side of Brisbane. We see just another trying to take as much space as they can in the first couple seconds. Getting one on the side of yellow, this machine really showing how strong this weapon can be, even though it's been nerfed to hell since the beginning of this game.
Yeah, you see them just trying to flush them out. Hime is just trying to help their team, but the Reef Slider comes in and insta-caps over the zone. Now it's really time for Yellow to sink their fangs into this game, as Hime is just trying to be in their face, trying to get their attention, trying to get their focus, having to move onto the top side, just waiting for someone to push, but they're all backed off. Everyone on blue is backed off, as we see two hitting on the right side, one going down, another hitting another one. It's not looking too good for blue here, as two are down. They're all in their base, just pushing in, just trying to get as much space as possible, but Hime just constantly denying them no, but going down, unfortunately. That ends up managing to get Hime down and just needing to paint. The zone flips towards blue's favor, as now they're on the offensive.
And we see that two did go down on the side of blue as soon as they recapped. Hime coming in with the bubble, getting a good pick, and we see it goes back to yellow's favor on the zone. It's just blue has to. It's now or never for blue, really, because that lead can really snowball, and just trying their best to just push in. A bubble does come out, but I don't think it's going to be enough space taken. And we see Hime just finding one, trying to flank and just taking that one out. You see Kraken coming out on the side of yellow, just trying to extend the defense. They're attacking very much. So we see blue just ready. You have two Zukas ready to come out on the side of blue. So you might just see... Oh, but Zuka, J-Splat does go down, unfortunately, unable to pop that Zuka. And you see they were cooled, so Jay still has that Zuka ready to go if they want to pop it. It's just a back and forth trading blows. It's just the pencil left. And the pencil goes down.
The pencil goes down. Now it's just blue. It's up to blue to lead the charge, to get them to hold that space, to just get them out from playing the game. You see the Junior just throwing bombs into important areas, trying to get them away. The Kraken comes out and trying to find someone. They've got three specials on the side of yellow, and they're pushing in. The Reef Sider comes in. It's insta-flipped already, and it's just Zuka comes out on the enemy side though, pushing in, trying to get rid of that bubble that's on top there. That's just screaming where Hime is, and just trying to get rid of Hime. J-Spot getting a nice double, trying to go in for a pincer there. I don't know if he's going to be able to find anyone just yet. I think they're all jumped out.
Yeah, you see there, Jay just gone for the hero play, just dropping down into the enemy territory, getting two, really showing how skilled he is. And you see a trade goes out for both teams, but two of their strongest players just going down out of the fight. And yellow is now down 2, and a respawn comes in. It's just going to have, they really do need that pushing power coming in. That Reef Slider would be very handy right now. And we see a Kraken coming in, trying to push everyone off of zone. Can't seem to find a pick just yet. And we see one is just painting zone very hard, getting that lead right now off of them, and just the wipeout just to conceal their victory. And it's donezo for Canberra.
Yeah, but you saw them on the tail end. You saw them getting really pressured, really pushed back, just from the amount of paint that they had available in order to support Hime on that roller. just really pushing them back, really just saying that we're in your face and we're gonna keep pushing you even no matter what. And yeah, blue team just managing to push back with even more ferocity.
Yeah, we see now that Lone Sailor does go to Brisbane Barge. We see now just very interesting, very fun to see this tournament play out. Uh, Final thoughts so far on the tournament?
Yeah, I mean it was a very cut cut and simple 3-0 from Brisbane there. Just the decimation, the absolute the absolute skill that comes into them. But even through but what I always like to say is that the numbers don't always tell you everything when it comes to the games. Just because someone went 3-0 doesn't mean that they didn't struggle in those 3-0s. And it's something that I've always told so many people whenever playing the game. Um, but yeah, overall, it was still a really good tournament and still really fun to spectate. It was really, yeah. Um, TNT, where can people find you?
Oh, where can people find me? People in the chat watching right now can find me on Twitter at Totally Not Tails, just to see what I'm doing. Me tweeting out my little opinions and being a little silly guy. You can also find me on my YouTube channel, KBot187, where I stream almost every week on Splatoon or whatever other game that I fancy that week. What about you? Where can they find you, Wilds?
You can find me on Twitter with just wilds with one H and one extra S. I post sometimes about Splatoon. I retweet a lot of artists, and I stream occasionally on twitch.tv with my same Twitter as my username on Twitch. I stream on Splatoon sometimes, occasionally, and also getting involved a little bit more with Fruity as well. And currently also hosting my own tournament as well, but this isn't the time for that. But yes, this is Lone Sailor 2. I'm Wilds, and with me is TNT, and we are logging off.
See you guys later.
Thank you, everyone!